Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
Okay, so Austin, if it was the lady that won 500 million naira.
Oh no, let me cut you before you. If it was you.
Okay, if it was me.
Can you give a man 100 million from your 500 million?
Like you said, if you are what?
Not be like you said. Can you, as you are now, currently sitting here, if you had 500 million, will you give a man 100 million?
If the man is enterprising, yes, I will. Yes, if. Because from what you said earlier, you said if the man or if you know your woman's value, right? It's for me, it's the same thing for me. If I know that if I give this my husband or my boyfriend, I cannot give my boyfriend 100 million. Hey, 100 million naira again. If it's my husband.
You didn't seem like you were agreeing with me when I said it.
No.
But now that I have thrown it back to you,
you
want to now agree with me.
No, I'm not.
Value.
There's value.
Wait,
I just asked you. I just asked you. What is value to you?
Relax. That's the question I even want to ask you. Because when we are talking about value, what do you think? Should I say just give me like 2 things that you feel a man should bring into your life that would add good value to your life, tangible value to your life.
First of all, you're not bringing anything to my life. You are being you. I'm being me.
No. Let's not do that. Let's not do you are being you and being me.
But you're not pouring into me for me to pour into you. Is that what relationship is about?
I am pouring into you because I like you. I am pouring into you because I want to pour.
They've not poured into me before. They used to pour into people in the relationship.
Yes.
You know what I've been. They used to pour into me.
Oh, that's bad. Sorry. But they should actually be pouring into you. Because when you like somebody,
yeah,
without the pressure of needing to pour into her or into him,
yeah,
when you say you love somebody, it just comes naturally. Because it even as little or as simple as walking on the road, and then you know your partner needs this course to be able to get to the next level, and you know you can afford it for them. Even if they cannot afford it, especially if they cannot afford it.
Yeah.
And you know that, okay, you would really do well if you did this course. You can go out of your way and pay for the course.
Okay, that is you pouring into your girl.
Obviously, isn't that pouring? What do you think is pouring into somebody?
Listen, I just said, oh.
Now I want to know what you
people
think
pour into people in relationships.
Oh no, let's leave that.
There is no point to me.
Why?
Like that's why I said you are being you. I am being me.
Why
right?
are you following people who cannot pour into you?
Unfortunately, the good people don't get good people.
No.
The good people don't get good people.
No. We have.
You be you, I will be me. Then, as life goes on, listen, as life goes, if you are a kind person, you will do whatever you want to do for me.
No,
if you are unkind,
not as life goes on. Wait. The reason why you people think good people.
Which people? Who is you people? Me?
Well, that's what you just said.
My gender?
You said they're not the point to you. So, wait. Let me, probably because I don't know. Let me not get there first, but we'll come back. We'll circle back to it. But wait. When you like somebody, naturally you point to them. And that's
okay, you point to people.
And that's the honest truth.
I've never poured, so.
You said something about good people always meeting bad people.
Most times.
As people, should I say, as sentient beings, we are so moved and easily carried away by feelings, by emotions.
Unfortunately,
and then we begin to lose every sense that we have.
Unfortunately, so that's why I've never met someone that poured correctly into
me. Because you were carried away by the standards that you thought you had in your mind, and you thought they had it, and that's why you were carried away. You couldn't even sit down and, okay, this person is doing, does it make sense? Is it right? No. You probably, okay, I like this guy because he has money. So wait, but now because he has money and you like money, whatever he does.
Who doesn't like money?
Wait. That's the problem. It's better to cry for inside Bentley than to.
It's not me. I not say like that too.
That's the mentality that you were trying to bring out. But that's what I'm saying now. Because you like money and he has money, so like attract like. So when he's now misbehaving, you cannot see it because he's giving you money. If he's treating you like trash, you cannot see it because what you like and what you want, he has it. And you are moved and carried away by how you feel.
So
you cannot sit down, weigh his actions.
So is that why all of these things you've said now, you've just been attacking me since all of these things you've said now. Is that why me I will not look at the person I want to give 100 million naira to?
I'm attacking the
If the man I want to give 100 million naira to is not enterprising.
This is the same mentality that corroded our society.
It's your society, not corrode my own.
Part of the society.
I'm not,
because you just said I should give you 100 million without asking you for anything.
No, just give me now. As your girlfriend, as your wife. Why can you not give me?
Lavishing.
Listen now. Like you said before you give your wife or your girlfriend that 100 million naira, you want to know her value. So if you know that this person is an enterprising person,
I say I must have known her value.
Okay, you must have known her value, right? And if her value, she is an enterprising person, right? Giving her that 100 million naira will not be an issue for you. Okay. Same thing applies to me. If the guy is a club guy and he just spends and spends and spends, and he asks me for 100 million naira, I don't have any business giving it to you. But for some entitled men, in our previous segment of this show, we talked about entitlement. For an entitled man, they will not even ask you for 100 million. They will even want you. They will expect you as a submissive wife to come and give my king, my lord, and kneel down and lie down and give them the money. Then from whatever is inside, just give me from whatever. Because that's what has corroded. That's what has spoiled this our society.
Let me tell you
Since we are in a society.
Let me tell you something. My mom used to manage our home. When my dad went to work, when he gets paid, he brings the money home. Mm-hmm. Because I know this firsthand because I was a witness to it. He brings the money home, and then he takes the part that he needs for his fuel.
Oh, wait, hold on. Your mom will work and bring money home.
My dad.
Okay, your dad. Okay.
I'm trying to, because you said something about the woman working and they go bring the money come and then out of giving that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a real life experience.
First-hand experience, yeah.
So when he goes to work, he brings the money home. And then the only money that he takes, because my dad was a drinker and a smoker, so he takes the money that he needs for his fuel in a month, and then he takes the money that he needs for his vices and his personal pleasure, and then he removes our school fees.
Necessary things.
Just those basic things. Every other money that is left,
he gives it to your mom.
He gives to my mom.
If it's enough or not.
That's what he has. Should he give her what he does not have?
But he has more than that.
No,
because you just said he removed money for his personal pleasure.
Oh, his
personal pleasure entails that money that he removed for the smoking and the other vices now. It's not necessary. But now, the money, because it's vices, you said it yourself.
Why is it not necessary? I'm asking.
Okay, so are vices necessary?
Some vices are necessary to keep a man sane.
Okay, we are delving. This is deeper than I thought. It's more serious than I thought. And the pressure is getting worse. So let's go back on track, right? We're talking about the fine line between setting high standards and entitlement, right? So now we're going to come back on this topic, the question I asked earlier. If a man has 500 million naira and his wife, not his girlfriend, now let's take girlfriend out of the picture, and his wife asks for 100 million naira, and the man, okay, this is what I watched, it was a video. The man was now asking, why should I give you 100 million naira? And Austin said, my co-host said that yes, as a man, you should know the value of your wife before wanting to give her such an amount. And now he's asked me in turn, saying, if it was me as a woman that won that lottery, 500 million naira, will I want to give my husband 100 million naira? I said, and I answered the same thing. If you are worth it, I will give you more than that, even. Because if I know the kind of person that you are and I know what you would use the money for, there's no point giving it to you.
Okay, just to rephrase my previous response to this question. If I am married,
So you want to change
when I am married, if I have like 500 million, or should I say, if this scenario happens in my home and I get 500 million, if my wife asks even for 200 million, I'll give it to her.
But does the wife have to
Without
ask?
asking.
Does she, okay, without asking. But do you know that there's
When
some
I say
men,
without
do you know
asking,
that
I'll
some
be
men,
asking her what she wants to use it for.
okay, but she has to ask you for it first before you give it to her.
Because she knows if I marry
Oh, she knows.
a
So
woman,
okay.
she knows she does not even have to ask me for
Before
money.
you give it to her. But do you know that there are some men, of course you should know that there are some men that will wait, or they will not even want to tell their wife. They would want you to ask first.
Why
and
are
then
you not telling your wife?
and then even
That is what I am telling you. That's the problem that we have. They have weighed the woman that they have married, and they have seen that nothing is coming from there.
even
That is
if
why a man
even
cannot
if-
go out
even
and he
if-
will not tell his wife.
even if you know that your wife is enterprising, even if you know that you married a good woman, because most of the time these men that cheat or these men that act funny in our society now, they have good wives at home, they have good women in the house, but for some reason whatsoever they would not want to tell their wife these kind of things because they feel, oh, if I tell her she will ask me. Of course she'll ask you for some money, but without her asking, why not give to her? Some men that, so I'm going to ask you now, because you are a man. As a man, why do some men wait for their wives to ask before giving to them?
Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes we are genuinely unaware of what you want if you don't speak out. Honestly. It is not all the time. When I say sometimes we are genuinely unaware, we might be in the same house and I might be providing, I may be providing, but I may not be aware of certain needs that you want. And then it is now up to you to now tell me, my husband, my love, whatever endearment that you people call each other, I want this and I want that. But then again, I feel like if it's my case, when I'm married, I feel like I'll be able to know what my wife is lacking and what she's not lacking, because I'm not sure I'd ever be able to get married to somebody who is not expressive or does not communicate.
But do you know that there are some men that are stingy? From that 500 million naira, right? Okay, let me give my wife something. They'll give her like 2 million naira. So it's 2 million naira proportionate to whatever worth you think the woman has. Let's just wrap it up real quick.
Honestly, if he's giving you that, I think
That's what she's
that's
worth.
the level with which he sees you in his mind.
So are you saying our women should? So that brings us back to, as a woman, setting high standard. So does it not mean that if she now sets high standard and say, no, if you're not giving me 100 million naira, then take your money? Was that an entitlement? So would you call that entitlement?
I don't know. I can't really say if it is entitlement. But what I do know is that if I am giving you, say, 2 million from the 500 million, that's how I have seen you in my mind. And if you now be like, you have to give me 100 million, yada, 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 yada. It is not entitlement. Because, I mean, you need it to be able to do something. But when that money is not going to transform your life positively in any way, that's being wicked.
That's been wicked of
Yes.
who? Of the woman?
Yes, of the woman.
Asking for that 100 million naira.
Because it's not doing anything for you. You just want the money to just lavish. That's being wicked. Don't you think that's being wicked?
This is a very broad topic, all right? I would love for us to have an episode 2 of it. We'll deliberate on that. And if there's going to be an episode 2, you will be the very first to know, because On the Couch is a very relaxed and cozy corner where we discuss and we have real unscripted talk. On the Couch is very much open for sponsorships and adverts. Please reach out to us on any of our social media pages as displayed on the screen: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Send us a message on WhatsApp and the number displayed on your screen to reach out to us. We would want to know what your take is on this topic. Are you an entitled girl? Are you an entitled man or a woman or boy or girl? Or you just have high standards? Exactly. So thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We really appreciate it. I am Mara Tamos and my co-host Austin. We say have a lovely day. Luck. All right. I'm sure you also you're glued to your screen and you watched the video with us. There's a lot to say in this video. There's a lot to say because
Let us begin to unpack them.
you are placing a price on yourself.
What?
Okay, let me start from you, Austin. What do you have to say about that video? Starting with the lady. Yeah, let's start with the lady.
Okay, so I think I saw half of the video before,
Okay.
and the same reaction I had is still the same reaction I'm still having now. Irritation. Honestly, I'm being honest with you. Irritation, honestly, because when I see or hear certain girls talk like this, I just go like, I just find like this. Omo,
But do you think it's a girl thing? Do you think it's this generation?
it's a people thing.
Do you think it's this generation thing, or it's just a thing that anybody can choose to want to have?
No, it's not just generation thing. It has always been like this. The only reason
From
now,
first time,
yeah, the only reason now why we are now seeing it
like
is
this
technology.
technology.
Yeah, because
How-
people have always been entitled like this.
Oh, so that's why you said entitled people are the one that feel that they have high standards.
Yeah, so what I was saying earlier when I said it has always been like this. Say let's say in the time of, should I say, like my daddy and my mommy's time,
Yeah.
they could have some entitled women at Abraka, but nobody in Warri will know.
Why Abraka?
Obviously, wait, but
I
let's
was
just
fired.
no offense, no offense to the people at Abraka,
Yeah.
no offense to the people at Abraka, but it has always actually been like this.
Okay.
Women have always chased money, men have always chased future building and all of that. But then I think because technology came and the things that, say, again, no offense to people at Abraka, the things that a girl at Abraka will say,
Yeah.
an unhinged and silly thing to say, I wouldn't hear in Warri. And the reason why I am hearing it and seeing it now in Warri is because it is being televised and everybody now has access to the internet. So today, it is easier for us to now say, this generation is this generation is that. But in reality, it has always been like this.
But wanting someone who has his life put together,
Not
Does
a
that-
bad thing.
does that make you as a girl now a gold digger in quotes? Because when you as a lady, you tend to place yourself high up there, and you're trying to set a standard to say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is my worth. I know my worth, right? Let's use that phrase. I know my worth. And then people that come around you, and then when you tell them, oh no, please, if you have not attained this certain level or this certain stage in life, I don't think we can be together, so to speak. People tend to call them gold diggers, and I wonder why, because now you're meeting somebody whose life is well put together, and then you want them to lower their standards because, well, you do not want, or you don't want to come up as being a gold digger. How does that sound? Somebody whose life is well put together. Why does the society refer to them as gold diggers? This one, she's just after the money, because she's she's trying to place a self-worth on herself. Like what we saw in the video, the girl said she's probably worth billions and trillions, which is the mental. Unfortunately, is the mentality that so many people roaming around the street today have, right? They tend to place a price on themselves. So that is why, like the guy said, if you have a price on yourself, you are basically worthless. Because there is definitely somebody out there that can afford you if you worth billions and trillions, like you said. Trillionaires, they're billionaires everywhere. So if a billionaire approaches you or a billionaire has you in their corner, you are not worthless to them, right?
I think you've said a lot of things, but let's try and pick.
I know you don't agree with what.
No, it's not like I don't agree.
Okay.
Relax. The thing is, let us pick this thing apart one by one.
Okay.
Let's start with the gold digging.
Yes.
That's basically looking for what you don't have. That's gold digging.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you hear certain, should I say, takes or narratives that come from people, because I can't say women, because there are men that are gold diggers too.
Yeah.
But so when you hear narratives like this, we now begin to term it gold digging. It is only because the other person in question has nothing to offer, no value, no nothing, no worth.
Okay.
So they are basically looking for, should I say,
what they cannot afford.
Poverty alleviation scheme.
And they call it relationship.
We can
because most relationships today is basically poverty alleviation scheme, right? And then that is where this gold digging thing comes from.
That is what we as a people, as a society, have done to ourselves.
But as a guy now, right? Let's leave the society. As a guy now, if you come across this kind of girl, right? You really like her, but then you now find out that she's.
I cannot really like somebody like that, but go on.
You now find out that she's like this. No, like what I mean by you really like her, like from a distance, right? You like her from a distance, and then coming close or getting close to each other, you now discover that this is how she is or this is who she is. How does that come up to you?
I think that's the whole point of dating.
Yeah.
Meeting somebody and then admiring them, and you're attracted. Yeah. So because something has to first attract you, probably like beauty, maybe the way they walk or the way they smell, something like that. Something always attracts you first. And then you go close and then you begin to hear certain things that you be like, especially if you are somebody that is, should I say, hypersensitive or should I say self-aware.
You as a guy.
Yes. Okay. Or even as a woman.
Yeah.
You might meet somebody and you begin to hear sentences and you be like, okay, believe me honestly, if you know what you are worth, immediately every feeling begins to die down.
But for some people, for some guys that can afford, and for some ladies that can afford it, they'll be like, oh yeah, you have to take care of your girl, you have to take care of your guy.
If I can afford 10 girls, should I be carrying 10 girls?
No. I'm saying one person now. Let's start from one. Relax. 10 girls, squad.
Go on. Because you just said for anybody that can afford it. So I'm trying to let you know that relationships are not all about what you can afford and what you cannot afford.
I'm saying from what is going on in the society right now, this is kind of becoming a norm in society right now. Because girls will tell you, oh, if you cannot buy me this, if you cannot send me money regularly, please, I don't want you in my life. So as a guy now, if you come across such a girl, how do you handle such? Because you can afford her. Because some guys also go with the mentality that, of course, as a woman, you have to take care of your woman, you have to treat your woman nice and all that. So when girls date such guys, and then for one reason or whatever, that relationship doesn't work out, and they move on from that relationship and on start another relationship, they now have that mentality and that mindset. If my guy I was dating before used to give me, say, 200K every month, if you as my new guy or my new boyfriend now, you cannot give me, even if it's 300K, if you cannot up your game, then I cannot give you. Why are you laughing?
It's funny,
no, this is what's happening now in society. If you now you want to date me, okay, can you give me this? Can you give me that? That she's asking all of that because she's been there, she's done that. So as a new person now coming into her life, she would want you to either up your game or maintain the standard that she's been enjoying from her previous relationship. Now, you as a guy, you have now kind of crushed on that kind of person, and then getting to know the person, you now realize that, oh, this is the kind of mentality that this girl has. Will you call that girl a gold digger, or does that come off to you as being a gold digger?
What I think,
No, it doesn't change what she is. But okay, so for you, what is she to you? What is she? Is she coming off to you as a gold digger?
It's actually a product of bad decisions of society. People like me, people like the next guy who cannot stand up to their brother. If, say for instance, I need, let's say the girl, for instance, needs me, and she tells me, if you cannot spend this on me, we are not supposed to do together. And I say no, and I stand on my feet and stand on this, and I not fall for her.
Mm-hmm.
If she meets the next guy, and the next guy
Says the same no.
if she meets like 5 guys, she'll begin to realize, have reality check, and she'll begin to come back to her senses, knowing fully well that if I continue like this, I will be.
Do you think do you think that's gonna work in this generation? Because I know a lot of girls, right? Okay, let me hold that thought. Let's go for a quick break. Let's do 1 or 2 checks. We'll be right back. I have a lot I want to say, but we'll be right back.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
We were talking about the fine line between having high standards and being entitled. So we have dissected. There was a video that we dissected, a girl, having high standards and, trying to define her self-worth, and it came off in a certain type of way. So we talked about the jobless girls placing that standards for guys or whoever cares to listen or whoever cares to care, right? The jobless girls trying to place those standards based off of what they have experienced in their previous relationships and in their previous experiences with their previous partners. So now on this segment we're going to talk about a girl, not a jobless girl now, a girl that has her businesses. She's well-to-do. She has things going on well for her. And she comes across a guy, or a guy encounters her, and then she's trying to, of course, she can afford whatever she wants for herself. But now you come off as a guy to her, and then you're saying, oh, you want a relationship. And then she now tells you, okay, you want a relationship. These are the things that I like. I like to go out. I like to be spoiled. I like to be taken out. I like to be taken care of very well. Do we still call that gold digging? Because if she was jobless, but you said, Austin, that you said that if she could not, or if she cannot afford the thing she's asking for, then we can call that gold digging. But now we're talking about a girl that has her business and she has things going on well for herself, and she's telling you that these are the things that she'll do with her money by herself. So if you want to come into her life, these are the things that you have to keep up with. I wouldn't call that gold digging now.
Well, personally, I think people who love you, I'm not sure they set, should I say, terms and conditions for you or any relationship that you're about to be in.
Not really terms and
conditions. I am
conditions.
saying that, let me quickly finish my thought. While I am saying that, I think when people come together and say they want to have a relationship, an actual relationship, so during the process of getting to know you, when people now say, okay, I am in love with this person.
Yeah.
I believe all of that, you have to spend so amount of money. You have to take me to X location for me to feel loved. I am not sure about that, but
You're not sure if that is love from the girl's angle now.
even from the guy's angle.
Okay, so now let's look at it like this. I like to paint a scenario. I can call me a painter all you want, but okay, let me paint this scenario now. So this girl, she's a business person. She has her stuff going on well for her. She can afford whatever she wants for herself. Once in a while, she goes on vacations with her money, nobody else's money. She goes on vacations, luxurious and exotic places, right? And then that was when she was single. And then now you as a guy, you admired her, you loved her, and then you want her to be your girlfriend. And then she tells you, okay, once in a while I go to so beach or so guest house or so place to just cool off, vacation. I go on trips, I go to so places, I go to countries. And this is with her money. Now, you as a guy, and she's telling you that. Maybe you can afford it, maybe you cannot afford it. Would you call that gold digging?
No,
she's not setting it, she's not giving you terms and conditions now. She's telling you what she will do normally. She's telling you what she does. It's a norm for her. It's what she will do with her money regardless if you give her or not. So would you call that gold digging?
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's just normal because if I can afford it for myself, why not? I wouldn't have to impose it on someone else.
So what if as a guy you cannot afford it?
I think that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
If I say I cannot afford it, I mean, you do not want me for what I can afford and what I cannot afford. I mean, even though you as a man, you do not want to be uncomfortable for yourself, because as a man, you really have to do well, at least to a certain point, before you can now decide to say, okay, I want to bring someone else into my life.
Yeah.
But when it now gets to the point,
So when you, sorry, I'm sorry to cut you short. When you say as a guy you need to do so well for yourself.
I didn't say so well.
Okay, you need to do well for yourself, right? What is a guy doing well for himself? What does that come off to you as? What does that mean for you? What is it to you?
Being able to afford your basic needs, like housing, clothing, a job,
Food
that
and the
puts
rest.
food on your table,
Yeah.
being able to like go out once in a while. You do not have to have the whole world before you can say, okay, I am comfortable in myself. Like being comfortable in yourself. Because even as a guy, if you have nothing for yourself, you'll be angry all the time. How much more trying to bring someone else into your life?
But do you know that there are guys that they know that they're okay for themselves? You want to borrow money? So let's go on. So if you know as a guy that you can afford these basic things now, some guys are like that. They can afford basic things for themselves, right? Housing, clothes, food, and the rest. And then they now have this girl that is well-to-do on her end. But once in a while, she tends to ask for stuff,
Okay.
ask for financial assistance, not because she cannot afford it. Because most times, as a girl, it's sweet to eat a man's money, right? So I don't want to use my money to make my hair this time around. I want my man to give me the money to make my hair. And this hair, okay, I would let me put it like this. There's this wig I saw. I love it. I can afford it, but I don't want to use my money to buy it.
Why?
I'm coming, relax. I want my man to buy the wig for me, right? I now talk to my man that is okay in the sense of he can afford his bills, he can afford his basic needs. I tell my man, okay, baby, there's this wig I saw, right? It's 1.2 million naira. As a guy that is okay, Austin, I'm asking you now. As a guy that is okay, how would you term that? Will you say, oh, it's outrageous? Will you say the girl is beginning to demand for too much?
1.2 million naira a week. Can she really afford it on her own?
Yes.
Well, if me as the guy, I want to get it for her, why not? But it depends on the value that she's bringing to my life.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
So now, this brings me to one really light question. What is your love language as a guy? You didn't see that coming.
Honestly, I really didn't see it coming. But I was having a conversation with a friend.
Uh-huh.
I think sometime around, like last month or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, love really has no language, yo. It just speaks.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It just speaks. So what language does it speak?
If I love you, why not? I would want to give you stuff. I would want to be around because according to people's definition of love language,
Yeah.
spending quality time.
Yes.
Gifting,
Yes.
what
So
else again?
you don't believe all of these are love languages?
For some people, they pick. Wait.
For you,
wait,
you
let
don't-
me,
what
let me let me complete. Let me finish my thought. For some people, they pick certain parts of it and then they leave the other parts. And for some people, when they say this is my love language, they are not saying this is the language I will speak to you. That's
Okay, this is the language you should speak to me. Okay.
And that's really bad. It's
Okay.
a mentality thing. We
Okay.
need to really-
Okay. That's why I asked. What is your love language? What is the love language you would want to be spoken to you?
Oh, speak to me in every language in your term. Touch me, spend time with me, gift me. Everything.
so
Because
do
that's
you-
how love actually is.
So are you willing, or do you give that language out to your girlfriend?
100.
100.
Yes.
You wasn't that I know. You give that language to your girlfriend.
Should we
100.
Should we
100.
Should we
100.
should we get into
Okay,
it?
we'll get into it, but maybe after when we go on the break, but not now though. So that brings me to this. There's this video I came across on the internet. I'm always coming across videos. I don't know why. I came across this video and the guy was asking the girl, or the girl was asking the guy rather, if you have 500 million naira,
Oh,
you won the lottery and you have 500 million naira. I'm asking for 100 million naira. Would you give me 100 million naira from the 500 million naira that you just won? And the guy goes, oh no. Why do you need 100 million naira? What do you want to use it for? Some will call it a red flag. What would you call it? A green flag, a blue flag, a yellow flag?
You didn't finish the video. I think they got to a point and the guy was asking.
Oh, you've seen the video as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen it. And the guy was asking her, why should I give you 100 million naira? I think there are certain demands that your, should I say partner, should I say your girlfriend, or should I say
Your partner.
there are
Fine.
certain demands that they would make. I think men tend to weigh you before they bring anything forward towards you. Like, for instance, say when she was asking for that 100 million, he has weighed her, and that's why he's asking her, what do you want to use that money for?
But she's his wife.
It's the same thing.
How much weighing do you need to weigh your wife before you give your wife 100 million?
Obviously, she was asking for the money for pocket money. She just said, just give it to me. Let me just spend it however I like.
So why not give it to her?
Men know the type of women that they marry.
So if you have 500 million naira and I'm asking for 100 million out of 500, why can't you give me 100 million?
For me, if
Yes.
I'm answering for myself, because
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to marry someone who is silly or mentally deficient. If I have 500
No, Austin,
wait,
hold on.
Let me answer your question.
Wait, what?
Let me answer.
Okay.
Because if I am married,
Yeah.
or if I am dating anybody, like actual dating, not the ones that we were doing some years ago,
Not the ones you were doing,
that we were
okay.
playing. If I am dating anybody seriously and
So
I
married.
know that, yes, we are doing this,
For life.
or if we get married, if I have,
If you and the person get married, why are you pointing me?
if I have 500 million
Why are you
and
pointing
she's
me?
asking
If you
for
get married?
100 million, I wouldn't even think twice before giving it to her
Okay.
because I know what she's worth. I know what she can do with the money.
Okay.
So when you ask for certain money as a woman and you ask your man and he's asking you, what do you want to do with that money? Most of the time, the thing is, there's a man's perspective to things and there's a woman's perspective to things.
So what's
thing
the
is,
man's perspective? Because I don't
I
understand.
want to
Give
know
me.
if
Will you
this
give me a bit?
money
Will you not
is
give
coming
me?
back.
Doubling back. You're giving me. You're not
That's
borrowing
the
me.
thing. Wait,
You're not.
that's
Why
the
will you
thing.
ask if
That's why I
you're
said
doubling
there's a
back?
man's perspective and a woman's
Give me 100 million from the
your
500 you
perspective,
have.
Just give me, make I go do it I like. Even though I won't just go waste time.
Yes.
That is from your perspective.
Because if you are giving me, then your mind should be off it. Whatever I use money to do is not your business actually.
Wait, for a woman who has, I'll keep saying that, for a woman who has value.
Okay, even if she has value,
Yes.
right, for herself, and she's saying, okay, oh wow, oh congratulations, you want 500 million, please, we give you 100 million from inside, and I'm like, what do you want to use it for? Why would you ask me what I want to use 100 million naira? Why would you want to know what I want to use the money for? That's giving me a red flag, because that goes to say that for whatever money I ask you for, you're going to ask me the reason or the purpose for that money. Why do you want to know?
That is why I said everything boils.
Because you just said now that you will give me if the money is doubling back. Why should the money double back? You cannot just give and remove your mind from it. Okay, so I cut him off guard. You give me the money and you remove your mind because it's a gift, right? You have a whole 400 million naira to yourself. Just give me 100. Okay, what if I ask for 300?
If I do that,
If I ask for 300, will you give me 300 million?
everything still goes down to the value that you are bringing.
The value I'm bringing. What is this
What
value?
can
Okay,
you
what's
do?
this
What can
value?
you do?
What's
That
this
is why
value
I
to you?
said, see,
This value that I'm worth. Now, what does this come up to you as? What is
You are
it to you?
listening to respond. You're not listening to understand.
Okay, so help me understand. What is this value to you now?
That is what I am saying. For instance, if I know that if I give you 100 million,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have to worry about giving you 100 million again tomorrow. Why not? I'll give it to you. Or if I know you already have something good going on for you,
Uh-huh.
and I know that when I give you this money, it is just going to add to your life. It is going to better your current situation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice. Why should I give you 100 million for you to go and splash on designers?
But some guys will not want to. Some guys, like I said, some guys will ask, what do you need it for?
That is what I am saying. Every man knows the type of woman that they are rolling with.
So, but you as a guy, you will give your girl.
I am not rolling with silly and mentally deficient people.
Okay, all right. We will. Let's take a break. We just need to catch some breath because the air is tense. I can feel it. There's tension in the air. We need to take a break. We'll be right back.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
Okay, so Austin, if it was the lady that won 500 million naira
Oh no,
lottery.
let me cut you before you. If it was you,
Okay, if it was me,
can you give a man 100 million from your 500 million?
like you said, if you are what
Not be like you said. Can you, as you are now, currently sitting here, if you had 500 million, will you give a man 100 million?
If the man is enterprising, yes, I will. Yes, if. Because from what you said earlier, you said if the man or if you know your woman's value, right? It's for me, it's the same thing for me. If I know that if I give this my husband or my boyfriend, I cannot give my boyfriend 100 million. Hey, 100 million naira again.
You didn't
If
seem
it's
like-
my husband,
You didn't seem like you were agreeing with me when I said it.
no.
But now that I have thrown it back to you,
That I
you want to
listen.
now agree with me.
No,
That
I'm
there's
not.
value.
There's value.
But wait,
I just
there's
asked
value.
you. I just asked
Wait,
you. What is value to
wait,
you?
Relax. That's the question I even want to ask you. Because when we are talking about value, what do you think? Should I say just give me like two things that you feel a man should bring into your life that would add good value to your life, tangible value to your life.
First of all, you're not bringing anything to my life. You are being you. I'm being me.
No,
In the
let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do you are being you and being me.
But you're not pouring into me for me to pour into you. Is that what relationship is about?
I am pouring into you because I like you. I am pouring into you because I want to pour.
They've not poured into me before. Oh. They used to pour into people in relationship.
Yes.
Hey, oh, you don't have been. They used to pour into me.
Oh, that's bad. Sorry. But they should actually be pouring into you, because when you like somebody,
yeah,
without the pressure of needing to pour into her or into him,
yeah,
when you say you love somebody, it just comes naturally, because it even as little or as simple as walking on the road, and then you know your partner needs this course to be able to get to the next level, and you know you can afford it for them, even if they cannot afford it, especially if they cannot afford it.
Yeah.
And you know that, okay, you would really do well if you did this course. You can go out of your way and pay for the course.
Okay, that is you pouring into your girl.
Obviously, isn't that pouring? What do you think is pouring into somebody?
Listen, I just said, oh,
now I want to know what
you people pour into people in relationships.
Oh no, let's leave that.
This is a point to me.
Why?
Like that's why I said you are being you, I am being me.
Why
right?
are you following people who cannot pour into you?
Unfortunately, the good people don't get good people.
No.
The good people don't get good people.
No. We have.
You be you, I will be me. Then, as life goes on, listen, as life goes, if you are a kind person, you will do whatever you want to do for me.
No,
if you are unkind,
not as life goes on. Wait. The reason why you people think good people.
Which people? Who is you people? Me?
Well, that's what you just said.
Or my gender?
You said they're not the point to you. So, wait. Let me, probably because I don't know. Let me not get there first, but we'll come back. We'll circle back to it. But wait. When you like somebody, naturally you point to them. And that's
okay, you point to people.
And that's the honest truth.
I've never poured, so.
You said something about good people always meeting bad people.
Most times.
As people, should I say, as sentient beings, we are so moved and easily carried away by feelings, by emotions.
Unfortunately,
and then we begin to lose every sense that we have.
Unfortunately, so that's why I've never met someone that poured correctly into
it was because you were carried away by the standards that you thought you had in your mind, and you thought they had it, and that's why you were carried away. You couldn't even sit down and, okay, this person is doing. Does it make sense? Is it right? No. You probably, okay, I like this guy because he has money. So, wait. But now, because he has money and you like money, whatever he does...
Who doesn't like money?
Wait. That's the problem. It's better to cry for inside Bentley than to...
It's not me. I not say like that, though.
That's the mentality that you were trying to bring out. But that's what I'm saying now. Because you like money and he has money, so like attract like. So when he's now misbehaving, you cannot see it because he's giving you money. If he's treating you like trash, you cannot see it because what you like and what you want, he has it. And you are moved and carried away by how you feel. So you cannot sit down, weigh his actions.
So is that why all of these things you've said now, you've just been attacking me since all of these things you said now. Is that why me, I will not look at the person I want to give 100 million naira to?
I'm attacking the
if the man I want to give 100 million naira to is not enterprising.
This is the same mentality that, corroded our society.
It's your society, not corrode my own.
Part of the society.
I'm not,
because you just said I should give you 100 million without asking you for anything.
No, just give me now. As your girlfriend, as your wife. Why can you not give me? Listen now. Like you said before you give your wife or your girlfriend that 100 million naira, you want to know her value. So if you know that this person is an enterprising person,
I say I must have known her value.
Okay, you must have known her value, right? And if her value, she is an enterprising person, right? Giving her that 100 million naira will not be an issue for you. Okay. Same thing applies to me. If the guy is a club guy and he just spends and spends and spends, and he asks me for 100 million naira, I don't have any business giving it to you. But for some entitled men, in our previous segment of this show, we talked about entitlement. For an entitled man, they will not even ask you for 100 million. They will even want you. They will expect you as a submissive wife to come and give my king, my lord, and kneel down and lie down and give them the money. Then from whatever is inside, just give me from whatever. Because that's what has corroded, that's what has spoiled this our society.
Let me tell you
Since
something.
we are in a
Let
society.
me tell you something. My mom used to manage our home. When my dad went to work, when he gets paid,
Yeah.
he brings the money home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know this firsthand because I was a witness to it. He brings the money home,
Mm-hmm.
and then he takes the part that he needs for his fuel.
Oh, wait, hold on. Your mom will work and bring money
My
home.
dad.
Okay, your dad. Okay.
I'm trying to, because you said something about the woman working and he will bring the money come and then out of giving that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a real life experience.
First-hand
that I have.
experience. Yeah.
So when he goes to work, he brings the money home, and then the only money that he takes, because my dad was a drinker and a smoker, so he takes the money that he needs for his fuel in a month, and then he takes the money that he needs for his vices
Yeah.
and his personal pleasure, and then he removes our school fees,
Necessary
it.
things.
just those basic things. Every other money that is left,
He gives it to your
he
mom.
gives to my mom.
If it's enough or not.
That's what he has. Should he give her what he does not have?
But he has more than that.
No, he
because
doesn't have
because
more.
you just said
I
he
am
removed
I am
money for his
telling-
personal pleasure.
Oh, wait.
His
wait.
personal pleasure entails that money that he removed for the smoking and the other vices now. It's not necessary. But
Why is
now,
that not necessary?
the money, because it's vices, you said it yourself.
Why is it not necessary? I'm asking
Okay, so
because
are vices
vices-
necessary?
Some vices are necessary to keep a man sane.
Okay, we are delving. We are delving. This is deeper than I thought. It's more serious than I thought. And the pressure is getting worse. So let's go back on track, right? We're talking about the fine line between setting high standards and entitlement, right? So now we're going to come back on this topic, the question I asked earlier. If a man has 500 million naira and his wife, not his girlfriend, now let's take girlfriend out of the picture, and his wife asks for 100 million naira, and the man, okay, this is what I watched, it was a video. The man was now asking, why should I give you 100 million naira? And Austin said, my co-host said that, yes, as a man, you should know the value of your wife before wanting to give her such an amount. And now he's asked me in turn, saying, if it was me as a woman that won that lottery, 500 million naira, will I want to give my husband 100 million naira? I said, and I answered the same thing. If you are worth it, I will give you more than that, even. Because if I know the kind of person that you are and I know what you would use the money for, there's no point giving it to you.
Okay, just to rephrase my previous response to this question. If I am married,
So you want to change your...
when I am married, if I have like 500 million, or should I say, if this scenario happens in my home and I get 500 million, if my wife asks even for 200 million, I'll give it to her.
But does the wife have to
Without
ask?
asking.
Does she, okay,
Without
without asking. But do you know that there's
When
some
I say
men,
without
do you know
asking,
that
I'll
some
be
men,
asking her what she wants to use it for.
okay, but she has to ask you for it first before you give it to her.
Because she knows if I marry
Oh, she knows.
a
so
woman,
okay.
she knows she does not even have to ask me for
Before
money.
you give it to her. But do you know that there are some men, of course you should know that there are some men that will wait, or they will not even want to tell their wife. They would want you to ask first.
Why
and
are
then
you not telling your wife?
even
That is what I am telling you. That's the problem that we have. They have weighed the woman that they have married, and they have seen that nothing is coming from there. That is why a man can want to go out and he will not tell his wife.
even if you know that your wife is enterprising, even if you know that you married a good woman, because most of the time these men that cheat or these men that act funny in our society now, they have good wives at home, they have good women in the house, but for some reason whatsoever they would not want to tell their wife these kind of things because they feel, oh, if I tell her she will ask me. Of course she'll ask you for some money. But without her asking, why not give to her? Some men, so I'm going to ask you now because you are a man. As a man, why do some men wait for their wives to ask before giving to them?
Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes we are genuinely unaware of what you want if you don't speak out. Honestly. It is not all the time. When I say sometimes we are genuinely unaware. We might be in the same house, and I might be providing, I may be providing, but I may not be aware of certain needs that you want. And then it is now up to you to now tell me, my husband, my love, whatever endearment that you people call each other, I want this and I want that. But then again, I feel like if it's my case, when I'm married, I feel like I'll be able to know what my wife is lacking and what she's not lacking, because I'm not sure I'd ever be able to get married to somebody who is not expressive or does not communicate.
But do you know that there are some men that are stingy? From that 500 million naira, right? Okay, let me give my wife something. They'll give her like 2 million naira. So it's 2 million naira proportionate to whatever what you think the woman has. Let's just wrap it up real quick.
Honestly, if he's giving you that, I think
that's what she's
that's
worth.
the level with which he sees you in his mind.
So are you saying our women should? So that brings us back to, as a woman, setting high standard. So does it not mean that if she now sets high standard and say, no, if you're not giving me 100 million naira, then take your money? Was that an entitlement? Would you call that entitlement?
I don't know. I can't really say if it is entitlement. But what I do know is that if I am giving you, say, 2 million from the 500 million, that's how I have seen you in my mind. And if you now be like, you have to give me 100 million, yada, 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 yada. It is not entitlement, because, I mean, you need it to be able to do something. But when that money is not going to transform your life positively in any way, that's being wicked.
That's being wicked of,
Yes.
who? Of the woman?
Yes, of the woman.
Asking for that 100 million naira.
Because it's not doing anything for you. You just want the money to just lavish. That's being wicked. Don't you think that's being wicked?
This is a very broad topic, all right? I would love for us to have an episode 2 of it. We'll deliberate on that. And if there's going to be an episode 2, you will be the very first to know, because On the Couch is a very relaxed and cozy corner where we discuss and we have real unscripted talk. On the Couch is very much open for sponsorships and adverts. Please reach out to us on any of our social media pages as displayed on the screen: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Send us a message on WhatsApp and the number displayed on your screen to reach out to us. We would want to know what your take is on this topic. Are you an entitled girl? Are you an entitled man or a woman or boy or girl? Or you just have high standards? Exactly. So thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We really appreciate it. I am Mara Thomas and my co-host Austin. We say have a lovely day. Good luck.
Welcome to St. Augustine's College, Ogara, Delta State, Nigeria.
8 years of academic excellence doesn't just come as a good Nollywood film. It has been a step-by-step rise in academic achievements with back-to-back outstanding performances in both our junior and senior secondary school certificate examinations. Even so, we strive for constant growth, hence our motto, which says, "The soul grows by learning." Education is the art and science of learning, and an academic success is achieved by training the mind to reach above its potential. We here at St. Augustine's College also help in training the body through a variety of sporting activities. We have a standard and fully functional volleyball courts, football field, badminton courts, and a few others which are promoted for co-ed practice. As we all know, intelligence and smarts have often been argued as to which is most important. Well, whichever side you are on, know that you have the full support of St. Augustine's College, Ogara, Delta State, as we provide indoor games which require tactical thinking, such as chess, a mathematical approach to checkers, an educational game like Scrabble, and few others such as snakes and ladders and cards, which helps to ease the stress of workload over the weekend.
And that is not all.
Here, students are taught spiritual, moral, and academic values. While we strive for academic excellence, we do not neglect the spiritual life of our students. In the chapel, the Catholic Mass, prayers, and other spiritual agenda carried out. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and in our refectory, which is always clean, students are served nutritious meals at every point in time. Our school medic is available 24/7, and we have a very comfortable sick bay. In addition to this, we have a variety of laboratories, such as the Home Economics Laboratory, where students are taught various crafts, such as photography, sewing, and cooking, which help them in the outside world. In the Computer Laboratory, students are taught to be technologically smart. In the Science Laboratory, students carry out physics, chemistry, and biology practicals under the supervision of qualified teachers who break down ambiguous concepts into simpler concepts. The school library is equipped with books which are carefully selected to help each child in their academic journey. Our school is also a center for WAEC, NECO, and GCE examinations, and we have zero tolerance for examination malpractice.
St. Augustine's College Agara is the place to be. Why don't you join this big, great family of ours, where every child is guaranteed to thrive? For more information on the college, you could dial these numbers: 091 699 73723, 091 699 73728, and 091 699 73729.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey, Tiger! Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor! What's up, Fortnite? The street pass. What's up, Fortnite? Where my people? What's up, Fortnite? You can come down. What's up, Fortnite? The street pass. Say, what's up, Fortnite? The street pass. What's up, Fortnite? The street pass. What's up, Fortnite? Receive a song. You say, Jesus, you too much. What you've done in my life?
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Finally, we are here on the new tax regime, which officially took effect on January 1, 2026. Yeah, this is how I welcome you to Money and Market today on TVM. My name is Fred O'Neill. On TVM's Money and Market today, we shall be looking at the new tax reform 2026. We shall be looking at how the reality of the need for this particular tax reform is all about. We'll be looking at the reasons and objectives for this particular reform, what the key changes and of course the economic effects are, if there are, and if this reform will stop government's dependency on oil and of course on heavy borrowing. And then we'll cap it all with how sustainable this particular tax regime is all about. All right, let's quickly start off with why the need for the tax reform. Now, we will be looking at this particular tax regime 2026, as it's called, the new tax reform. We'll be looking at it at a surface level, not really that deep. Where necessary, we'll go in, deeper in some of the areas. But just to let you know that in subsequent episodes of Money and Market, we'll be looking at some key areas that have somewhat, in quote, have become controversial. All right, so what are the objectives of this particular new reform? There are reasons why the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as of last year, 2025, deemed it necessary for Nigerians to get, into this particular new tax reform. The reasons are numerous, but we'll just highlight a few of them. One of the reasons is for the tax reform to simplify and modernize the tax system. Also, another reason is to look at how this tax reform will improve tax administration and compliance, which is very, very important. And of course, we'll look at how this taxation, this new tax policy or reform, will broaden the tax base without harming or hurting the poor or the vulnerable, like you want to say, which is one aspect that most Nigerians have been asking questions about taxation in Nigeria. Another reason for the new tax reform is to see how this reform will boost revenue efficiency and economic growth, which is also important from the economy aspect. Now, another thing we'll look at to see the reason why the president opted for this new tax reform is to see how this tax reform will enhance fairness, transparency, and of course the right to taxpayers. It's very, very important that the taxpayers know their right. Another very important reason is to see the need for encouragement for investors and for competitiveness, which is also good because, as an investor, you don't want to go into an economy that is very unpredictable. And of course, another reason will be how this tax reform will bring about promotion when it comes to intergovernmental collaboration, like the three tiers of government: the federal government, the state government, and of course, the local authorities. We'll also look at another reason, which is to help align with global standards, because when you look at what's happening to the Nigerian economy, you want to say that we've been lagging behind. So these are some of the things we'll be looking at in this first segment of the program. All right, let's go deeply now into the reasons why the President Bola Tinubu say that Nigerians have to go into this new tax reform. The first one I talked about was to simplify and modernize the tax system. Now, one of the core goals is to actually replace, what we call fragmented set of outdated tax laws with, this unified, which we want to see anyway, this unified and modern structure that is easier to understand. Now, the president and of course all proponents of this new tax law have been saying that this tax reform is very easy to understand, which the ordinary Nigerians are yet to grasp. Like I said, time gradually will begin to help us to understand what these laws are all about. All right, so, and the reforms consolidate many existing tax laws, like I said, statutes that we've seen that, would kind of bring coherently into one framework and streamline classifications. All right, now, these are all economic terms, for the ordinary Nigerians. What it invariably means is that it will simplify how taxation operates or go about or is being administered in Nigeria. Now, why does this really matter? I mean, talking about the simplification and of course modernization of the tax system. One is to help reduce complexity for taxpayers. Like we said, there's this complex nature of taxation that the ordinary Nigerian does not understand. So this will bring about the reduction in this complexity. There's also the issue, it will help to lower administrative burden for government and businesses. It will help lower the burden on the government and of course for businesses. As we progress in this discourse, you would understand where I am going. And of course, this will help replace many overlapping taxes with simplified systems. So what this first reason that the president is talking about is it will bring about the bottom line, the layman's language is it will bring about simplification of taxation for you to understand what the taxation is all about, this new reform. Let's look at another reason why the president opted for this particular reform, and that's to improve tax administration and compliance, which is very, very important. Very, very important. Now, we used to have the Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is known as the FIRS, or people say FIRS. It's been replaced by the Nigerian Revenue Service, which is now the NRS. Now, this service is responsible for the establishment of certain things that I'll highlight very soon. And of course, this creation of this NRS brings about clearer, first of all, will create clearer and, stronger systems for registration, of businesses, and of course to know how many persons are involved in businesses, and of course to enforce taxes. Now, the key aim for this particular reason is to centralize and coordinate tax administration. That is what the NRS will be doing, to centralize and coordinate tax administration. And of course, they will use digital tools, which was something we didn't see in the previous tax regime, where we will be seeing e-filing. Some businesses have started doing that already. I mean, this is the new year. This is 2026 already. There's also the e-invoicing and then real-time reporting, because like I said, we'll not be going deep into this, but as cash flows begin to happen in your transactions, definitely the banks and by extension the regulators will definitely see how businesses are being run, and that would definitely bring about coordination of this tax payment and all of that. And of course, that will reduce tax evasion. Now, tax evasion has been something that has been happening in the Nigerian space, in the economical space in Nigeria. And so the government, being led by Bola Tinubu, is saying that this will reduce drastically tax evasion. Let's also let you know that this particular reason, like for this taxation, will also improve taxpayer data and enforcement. We talked about the e-filing, the real-time reporting, and of course e-invoices. So these will bring about data classification and of course enforcement of proper data collection for taxes, as it were. Let's look at another reason which I just highlighted initially, which is to broaden the tax base without hurting the poor, which is very, very important. Now, instead of raising many existing tax rates, the way they just increase the rates abruptly, the reforms focus on widening who pay tax, who pay tax fairly, because the general notion is that the low income earners are the ones that pay tax more. I mean, would you want to blame them? You look at pay as you earn. That's one thing that in this new regime has been taken off from salaried workers. But we talked about that one in a previous episode. We're not going to go into all of that now. But let's just see what this entails. What this entails is that there is now the classification of taxable categories. What this means is that you will now see digital services and foreign income being categorically taxed in, as it were, and we'll also see the introduction of unified levies like the development levy. Now, this is going to be like a one-off kind of payment instead of the different payments from the different sectors in the government tiers, like the federal, the state, and the local government. So it will bring about the unification of levies into development levy. Also, there will be the modernization of personal income tax with clearer brackets and relief, especially exemption for low-income earners from tax up to a certain threshold. Now, like I said earlier on, the paye, as is known in our parlance, or the pay as you earn, this is something that has been removed, and the VAT, as it were, knocked down to the barest minimum, at least to help the low-income earners. So these are very, very interesting reasons for the new tax regime that we have started experiencing, and this approach is meant to ensure that more people and enterprises, those who do businesses, they contribute without increasing burdens on the poorest. So it's like I said earlier on, it's going to help a lot in removing the burdens, as it were, in the former regime. Let's look at another point that the president raised for the reason for the new taxation that we are seeing, that it will boost revenue efficiency and economic growth. Now, that's the questions people have been asking. We pay tax, but we're not seeing any growth in the economy. We're not seeing anything, as it were, to reflect what their taxation is all about. Now, in this particular aspect, the reason was that the Nigeria's tax to GDP, we talked about this one in our previous episode, where we talked about the previous regime for taxation, is that the tax to GDP ratio for Nigeria is very, very low. In fact, in the world, it's one of the lowest. In Africa, is the lowest when it comes to the average GDP, tax to GDP. And this also limited funds for public services. Now, the government is saying that the reforms will aim to raise revenue in more a stable and efficient way, and not by arbitrary hikes like we saw in the past, but it's going to be gradual through better compliance, broader participation of the taxpayers now, of Nigerians, of businesses in Nigeria, and of course there will be modern structures. We'll see how all this will pan out. But the key goal here about this particular reason is that there will be increments in the tax to GDP rates toward the African average. Like I said earlier on, for the African average, Nigeria is not really doing well. We are lagging behind. And so this will bring about, you know, the increment in the tax to GDP. And of course, this will reduce reliance on borrowing, because, I mean, if you've been following the government and of course following the Nigerian economy, you definitely understand that borrowing, it's not like it's only in Nigeria that borrowing, you know, occurs. But this is heavy borrowing, back-to-back borrowing, which is not really good for any economy. So that will bring, this is one of the reasons that it will bring about the reduction, drastic reduction on borrowing or reliance on borrowing. It also creates predictable tax environments for investors. Now, no investors want to come into any economy that is very, very unpredictable. So they are saying this will also bring about you know, reduction and predictability when it comes to the tax environments. All right, so the number 5 reason, or the next reason for this, you know, tax reform is for fairness, to enhance fairness, transparency, and taxpayer rights, which is very, very important. And like I said, time will not be our friend to really go through all of the points that we want to raise, but the most important thing is for you to know these tax laws as they were. So in this particular one, the new system is meant to build taxpayer trust by reducing arbitrary enforcement and of course improving transparency, which include, by the way, a tax ombudsman to address disputes. Okay, so that's the very important one for taxpayers, to have someone who will stand in the gap for them to explain any disputes as they arise. And of course, there'll be tribunal systems for independent resolution in some of all these. So that is just to get clarity, and of course for the taxpayers' rights, to get clearer rights and obligations for taxpayers as well. Now, this encourages voluntary compliance and a stronger culture of tax payment, which is all that we really need to do as tax payers, you know. Well, we'll still continue with some of the reasons why, or the objectives for the tax, the new tax reform, as it were, when we come from this breather. So stay with us.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
Welcome from that quick break, and before we went on that breather, we were talking about the reasons for the tax laws. In fact, the new tax regime that kicked off on the first day of January 2026. By the way, just to let you know that some parts of this particular reform have already begun as far back as in June 2025. So don't be shocked, because some of the laws were already in play. But the official, for you to really know that we are now in a new tax regime, the president had to announce to the nation on that particular day to reiterate the commencement of the new tax regime. All right, let's look at another reason for the new tax reform is to encourage investment and competitiveness. This is very, very key, because where there is no competition, where there is no encouragement for investment. I mean, if the environment is not conducive for investment, then definitely how can you raise revenue? So by offering targeted incentives and clearer rules, which include tax credits for capital investment, exemptions for small enterprises, and of course we also see modern tax definitions coming our way. The reforms are meant to, make Nigeria more attractive for business and investment, which, like I said, very, very key. I mean, if the economic environment is not conducive, nobody will want to plow the money in the economy. So, for instance, we have exemptions for small companies, all right, for some of the taxation, which, like I said, in subsequent episodes on Money and Market, we'll still be looking, because we will continue to talk about this new tax reform. It's going to be here for a very long time in order for the tax to sink deep into every Nigerian's, thinking and thoughts. So there'll be the exemptions for small scale businesses, for small companies. Performance-based development incentives will now come in, which, like I said, will try to encourage investment. There will be structured incentives replacing, those old holidays, as it were, in the previous regime. And then let's also talk about another reason, which is to promote intergovernment collaboration. I love this one because this is where I really want to see the new reform take effect. There's this word that has been in circulation right from the onset when the reforms were being brought before Nigerians went through the various stages in the National Assembly before it was gazetted. The creation of Joint Revenue Board. We just talked about the NIR. Yes, the NRS, I beg your pardon, which is the Nigerian Revenue Service. We talked about on replacing the FIRS. So there's the creation of the Joint Revenue Board. And this is the one I'm talking about, the word that has been in circulation for a very long time. Harmonized revenue sharing frameworks. And this is aimed to bring about reduction in conflicts between the different tiers of government, which is the federal, the state, and the local tax authorities, promoting better alignment in policy and collection. So I want to see how this harmonization of this sharing formula will take place as it relates to the tax in Nigeria. And last but not the least is how this will align with global standards. Now, this is for some technical people to understand, but let me just say it on the surface there. The risk reform, this new reform, will bring about the country, Nigeria, getting closer to the international tax norms. Let me leave it there because it's some very, very deep-rooted matters. But also, let me also say that in summary, the 2026 reform objectives, or the reason for this reform, are fundamentally about modernizing and simplifying taxes, like we said earlier on, enhancing administration and bringing about compliance, broadening the tax base fairly, and of course responsibly increasing revenues, as it were. This also, they looked at how the economy, the tax, I beg your pardon, will boost transparency, will also boost taxpayers' rights. I talked about this a little bit in depth, and encourage investment and economic growth, which is key for any economy, and also to improve intergovernmental coordination or collaboration. And of course, the last point we just talked about, aligning with global fiscal practice. So, in total, these reforms reflect a strategic shift toward a more efficient, fair, and growth-oriented fiscal system, which we all are looking forward to. And of course, this is also be designed to help fund development while reducing this complex nature for citizens and businesses alike. So these are the reasons in summary why the need for a new tax reform. Now, you want to ask yourself, with all these reasons that have been given, what are the key changes? I mean, what are there? I mean, what's there in this tax reform that we do not know about? Because some persons are saying that, it's just an upgrade to the former, tax regime. Or another question, somebody would also want to ask, what are the economic effects on workers? I mean, this is real day practice now, practical examples on workers, on traders, on small businesses, and of course on large corporations. Well, let's look at the impact first off on the ordinary Nigerians, workers and households. Now, like I said, because of time, I won't be going in depth about these points that I'm raising, but let's look at the positive changes for households. One of them, let's look from the low income earners who will now be paying less or no tax, like I said earlier on. Now, Nigerians earning below the new exemption threshold, there's this cap, which is the threshold now. There's, if you're earning below this threshold, you will pay little or zero personal income tax. Now, this will improve your home take. I mean, your salary will definitely be now appreciable compared to before, especially for junior workers. The daily life effect will be that there'll be more money left after, salary deductions, which would then definitely lead to, better ability to pay for your transport, for you to buy your food, and of course to pay for school fees and all of that. Your medical health, your health insurance, how you want to take care of yourself, the health way, this will all improve. Now, that's on the daily life effect. Let's look at the fewer hidden taxes on essentials, because like I said, it's not like it's completely wiped out, but let's look at the few ones. VAT. Now, VAT exemptions on basic food items, on health and education reduce indirect pressure, but it's there, it's still there. Don't worry, we'll knock on this when we begin to dive into some of these taxes in depth. Then there will be simplified taxes, which will bring about reduction in multiple deductions conclusion. So, which is not really bad for the households. Like we said, multiple taxation is one thing that we would want to ensure that is reduced as possible. So the daily effect on this particular one is that there will be lower tax pressure on basic survival spending, even if inflation rises or even if it still exists. Okay, so let's also go to small on the impact it will have on small businesses and traders. This is the number 2 we're looking at now, because we just looked at, like I said, I'm not going to go deep into the discussion for today. We'll take time to analyze these in subsequent episodes. So let's look at our second pointer, which is on the impact on small businesses and traders, which is the SMEs. Now, the positive changes for the small businesses, one of them is fewer overlapping taxes. That's one of them, fewer overlapping taxes. Now, we talked about multiple small levies here and there that are merged, that we merged, or streamlined, which is a very, very positive thing we are looking at. In the previous taxation in tax regime, we saw how these affected even as small businesses as they were. So there will be reduction in harassment by the different tax agents, which is the positive side of the taxation on SMEs. So this will bring about in the daily life effect or the daily business effect for businesses, small scale businesses. It will bring about less disruption, yes, which will lead to more focus on selling and operations. You know, when you have less disruption in your business, definitely you want to increase your sales and your operations. Also, it will bring about lower corporate burden on small firms. So small businesses below a certain turnover threshold, would enjoy tax exemptions or reduced rates. So in our previous episode, we talked about the threshold for some businesses, which is about 25 million naira or less, which is the turnover for such businesses. Okay, so when you find yourself in that kind of bracket, definitely you will enjoy lower corporate burden in your businesses. All right, we'll take another breather here. When we come back, we'll continue to look at the impact of this new tax policy on small-scale businesses and, of course, on large corporations. Stay with us.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
All right, welcome back from that breather. And before we went on that quick break, we were talking about the impact of the new tax reform on small-scale businesses. We left it at how this will help them, small businesses who are in the bracket of a certain threshold. I gave an example of businesses who have a turnover of about 25 million naira or less that would be exempted or have reduced tax rate. Now, it will also bring about this simplified filing procedures for these small-scale businesses, because there's no harassment, there's no how would I put it now, problems coming from taxation, as it were. So this will bring about a simplified filing procedure. When I say filing procedure, I'm talking about how they want to file their businesses, their operations, their cash flow and what have you in the businesses. So the daily business effect will now be that there will be lower compliance costs, and when you have lower compliance costs, this definitely will lead to improved survival chances. So you winding up your business, that idea will not be there in your mind. All right, we'll also look at, still on the small scale businesses or the SMEs, we'll also look at the stronger enforcement and digital compliance here, where we talked about earlier on. We talked about e-filing, bank monitoring. I just talked about this bank monitoring. I just remember how there were so many narratives in the turnover of the new year, when we came into the new year in 2026, how people were saying this is how you get banks not to tax your monies, and so many different narrations. Very funny. And the funny thing there is, they are not even looked at is your cash flow, how monies come and go out of your account in the past, and they will use it to compare and contrast with what is going on in your transaction, and that's where you will be taxed. Not all these your narrations, all your narratives in your in your transactions with your bank. Okay, so there'll be stronger enforcement, and digital compliance, where we'll see e-filing, we'll see bank monitoring, we'll see clearer records being required. So cash-only businesses will then face challenges, because when you depend on cash a lot, there's this set of rules that the Central Bank of Nigeria brought about as we cross over to the new year in 2026, and you know, that has brought some shake-up in how we hold cash in our hand, or want to do cash withdrawals, as it were. So the daily business effect on this particular one for SMEs will be that SMEs must now keep basic records, which were almost non-existent before now. They will also keep invoices and bank consistency. That's how things will be monitored as they were. Now, there's also the issue of less negotiation space. This will reduce discretion by tax officials. All right, and like they used to say, this will be very difficult, or to be hard now, to settle informally, because that's what we were seeing before. You have to, you know, settle in court the officials when they come around for those who are evading tax, or those who are not compliant with taxation. And for the daily business effect on this particular issue, you see more predictability, which is really good for business, but also there will be less flexibility for non-compliant businesses. So when you are non-compliant, well, it's not going to be flexible for you. It's going to be very, very complex, you know, as it were. So the bottom line for SMEs is that it will be less, there'll be less multiple taxation. Yeah, at least it's not like it's not going to happen. There'll be less multiple taxation. There'll be clearer rules for you to operate your business. So the higher compliance discipline required in this particular bracket, as it were. So good businesses will definitely benefit in this one. A weak record keeping suffers as well. So when you don't do your records properly, definitely you begin to see the different hammer coming on you. Now let's take a look at the impact, you know, on big businesses, or you want to call them multinationals or corporations. Let's start with a lower corporate income tax here as one of the strategic benefits. Now, there's a reduction in lower corporate tax benefits or tax rate for these multinationals. It used to be 30%, the tax rate for them, and now we are told it is now 25%. Now this will also improve profitability for the business, you know, and of course it will bring about competitiveness. Now there's one thing about business: you go into business to make profit. Nobody wants to go into business for charity's sake, you know. As long as it is business, you want to make profit. So this will improve profit a lot for these businesses. Now on the business impact of things, this will now make Nigeria become more attractive for investment and expansion. You know, when the economy is good, when the tax is predictable, you know, it brings about people wanting to do business in the country. Talking about multinationals now, so this will also bring about better long-term planning and pricing decisions, which is very, very good. You know, when we have a long-term plan, and of course we have our pricing decisions being not wavering, it will definitely help multinationals as well. There will also be tighter scrutiny. Here we're talking about stronger anti-avoidance measures. You know, these businesses will want to transfer pricing enforcement, bring about digital services and foreign income. Definitely will be captured in this particular one, like unlike before, you know, where you want to evade tax or you want to beat the system to settle and all that. This also implies business-wise that there'll be less tax planning loopholes, yeah, which will lead to paying closer look at how these taxes are, you know, shared in a fair manner. All right, there's also the transparency requirement from these multinationals, because there'll be more reporting, there'll be cross-border transaction monitoring, and this will impact seriously on the businesses via lower rates, better clarity, and there'll be less room for aggressive tax avoidance. So I mean, this is good news on the part of the government, on the part of the economy from these multinationals. So, like I said, there'll be less room for aggressive tax avoidance. There'll be less room for that. And government trades lower rates for wider compliance. So when the taxes are moderate, definitely the government will want to enjoy these taxes being paid, and of course reduce that tax avoidance. So in overall, let's now look at how this affects the economy in total, because we'll be looking at households, we looked at small businesses, and then we also touched on multinationals or big corporations. How does this on its own, talking about the new tax reform, how does it affect the economy overall? First off, let's look at the short term. There will be adjustment pain, no doubt about that. On the short run, when new policies are made, there's always the pain, so to speak, but it's going to be adjustable. Gradually the pain will ease off. There will be compliance learning curve. People will now have to learn how to comply with this new taxation. So it's not going to be sudden, because that's what we are experiencing already. There will also be public suspicion, definitely, like what most Nigerians have been saying, that this tax regime is just to put hole in the common man's pockets. Well, not really. I mean, if it's really well executed. Then, on the medium to the long term, this will bring about more stability in government's revenue, which is very key, which will bring about at least improved development and growth of the economy, and of course for infrastructure and all that. And it will reduce heavy borrowing. I mean, we've seen how the government have been borrowing to pay for salaries, to pay for contractors that are embarking on government contracts and all that. So this will bring about a reduction in heavy borrowing, and it will bring about better funding for infrastructure and services, like I said earlier on. And definitely this is another key point. It will bring about a better and stronger investor confidence. When the economy is good on the long run, it will definitely make investors to have confidence in the economy. The summary of all of this is that the new tax reforms are not about squeezing Nigerians. It's not about squeezing them harder. These reforms are about sharing the tax burden, but sharing the tax burden more fairly, reducing confusion, and of course making sure that everyone contributes according to his capacity, according to how you earn, according to how your income flows in. This is a fair share of everything, removing confusion and bringing that confidence back into the economy. All right, so you say when this new regime has come, I mean, it's not in play, the new tax reform, I mean, it has already started. Like I said, unofficially, without many Nigerians knowing, it started in June or thereabout in 2025, and just officially, just for announcing sake, it began in the first day of January 2026. Now, one very key question you want to ask: will the new tax reform stop government's dependency on borrowing or dependency on oil? We've seen how even oil could not even fund Nigeria's capacity to expand, as it were, and so they had to rely on heavy borrowing. So the new tax reforms are designed to help reduce Nigeria's dependency on both excessive government borrowing and oil revenue. But the truth of the matter is they won't eliminate those dependencies, immediately. So it's going to be gradually, okay? The reforms are just a means toward a more, diversified, sustainable fiscal system rather than a one-off fix of the Nigeria economy. All right, so we'll look at some pointers about how these reforms will enable, whether it will enable the government to go away from heavy borrowing, not depending heavily on the funds coming in from oil. We'll take another breather here. When we return, we'll look at those pointers. Stay with us.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
All right, welcome back from that, and of course that break, and we are trying to round up today's episode. We have to go on a sprint on this particular one. I'll just highlight on some of the how will I put it now, reasons, or see some of the key pointers to how the government would not rely on borrowing or on oil. But like I said, it's not a one-off fix, so it's going to be a gradual thing. Now, the first pointer there is reducing reliance on oil revenue. Like I said earlier on, Nigeria's fiscal system is one that really heavily depends on oil income. Now, according to data, often around 70% of government's revenue makes up the budgets, which is very vulnerable to crude price swings. Now, these budgets, like I said, like the statement is just saying, is that each time the budget is worked on or is brought up, they have a benchmark of the oil price that they'll be projecting, and there's always swing during the accounting or the fiscal year, as it were, and this brings about unease, as it were, for the government, because they rely, like I said, 70% of their budget rely on that benchmark, which is very vulnerable. Now, the effect about this one is that there's the broader taxes on corporate income, VAT, and digital activities. Now, capturing previously informal economic activity into the tax net, this was part of the reform impact. There's also the clearer taxes on corporates, a broader tax base and stronger tax administration, which is aimed to grow the non-oil revenue. Now, these are done through clearer taxes on corporate income, VAT, and of course digital activities. There's also the better compliance via digital systems, and of course that mandatory TIN, which is the tax identification numbers. Like I said, we're not going to go deep into all of these points. The second point I want to raise here is also reducing dependency on borrowing. Now, Nigeria currently borrows to fill the gaps between spending needs and available revenue, and of course largely is due to low tax collections historically. So what this statement is just saying is that the reason why they depend heavily on borrowing and of course on oil revenue is because taxation, which is supposed to be another form of revenue for the government, is very low. So the reform impact here is by raising the tax to GDP ratio, which is the share national income that the government collects in tax. Yes, and of course, this can be through having more predictable and stable revenue. How does that happen? Through taxation. Okay, and of course, they have to finance a larger portion of the budget from domestic tax receipts. You can see that the tax, I mean, if it's well implemented, and of course there's compliance and there's no avoidance, definitely will raise some form of good revenue for the government. And of course, the government itself says that proper implementation of the tax reform is critical to reducing reliance on borrowing in the budget, and of course the fiscal framework context. So it's all about trying to get revenue, as it were, via taxation than depending on borrowing and of course on oil revenue. Then let's see also how realistic this transition will really be, because I know how households are struggling right now. The promising signs are that there are stronger compliance efforts already being driven through sustained growth in non-oil revenues in recent years, which is not really bad. Some agencies report digital tools and enforcement are bringing previously untaxed activity into the system. For example, the now relaxed Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is the FIRS, said it collected about 20.62 trillion naira in tax revenue alone between January and August of 2025. But the challenges here is that the Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio still lag peers, you know. So I mean, meaning there's a lot of room for improvement on the tax to GDP. Effective results depend on consistent enforcement, administrative capacity, and taxpayer trust. So all these, if they are not in place, expected revenue gains may not, we may not just hit it. In fact, there's going to be a shortfall. All right, so what does this mean in practice? For short term, say, let's say from the next 1 to 2 years, about this particular new tax regime, we might see some reduction in borrowing pressure if tax revenue rise moderately. There'll be continued importance of oil revenue as reforms settle. So lots of them like that. Of course, possible transitional deficits. I will also see that one as a system strengthening. What about the medium term, from 3 to say 5 years? The broader tax base will bring about more predictable revenue. Okay, so when we have a considerable increase in taxation, in tax revenue, the broader tax base will definitely bring about more predictable revenue. Now, government can now plan budgets with less dependence on unpredictable oil receipts. Because like I said earlier on, the benchmark for oil from the beginning of the year is what determines how we spend, or how we will borrow, or how we will, get some revenue for the government. Now, public spending grows less reliant on borrowing for recurrent costs. Like I said earlier on, I mean, where tax revenue comes in, you will not want to go on a borrowing. On the long term, say from 5 to 10 years, what will be the effect or the impact? We'll have more diversified revenue mix, which could significantly reduce the fiscal cycle of boom, bust, borrow, repeat. All these are the economic terms. But better credit ratings will definitely come in. There will be lower borrowing, which will be very, very good in terms of costs, and there'll be more investment in public services. All right, so we'll look at the last points for today before we round up. We have very few minutes to do that. The controversies around the implementation of this tax law. There's going to be trust deficit for sure. Will government use the money well? That's questions that people will be asking, because many Nigerians will start asking questions on why they should be paid more taxes when infrastructure is poor, What's it called now? Corruption perception remains high. You know, the public service are weak. You know, so these are some of the things that the Nigerians will want to look. You know, I don't want to be asking questions like, "You are taxing me more, but I'm not seeing anything." You know, so why collect more taxes when roads, power, and hospitals are still failing? These are some of the questions that the public will be asking. There's also the fear of over enforcement and harassment. It's easier said than done. The controversy here is that the expansion of digital tracking, like the TRN, like I said, we're not going to go deep into all of that, which is the bank linkage, your transaction monitoring. These raise fears, you know, of overzealous enforcement by some of these enforcement authorities or agencies. There's the targeting of informal workers. Yeah. Informal workers, and of course the abuse of power by tax officials. So these are some of the controversies surrounding the implementation of this tax reform. There's also the informal sector shock, where there's a controversy of Nigeria's economy largely you know, on the informal side. Many traders and freelancers, they now lack proper records. They have financial literacy. You know, they lack financial literacy, I beg your pardon, and of course they lack digital tools. I mean, when you go to the layman, when you go to the businesses, some of these things we're talking about, for like proper records and knowing your financial records, they are even non-existent when you ask the layman, the ordinary Nigerian out there. And this is a major concern, because sudden compliance demands may then bring about a push in businesses to further go underground, yeah, and this will bring about reduction in livelihoods instead of formalizing them. Another thing you look at on the controversy side is federal-state tensions. The states worry about loss of autonomy, revenue sharing disputes. You know, there's this sharing formula now. Like I said, maybe in the next episode we'll go into some of these issues topically in details. The federal government's overreach through centralized systems. You know, so the reality is that without cooperation, that harmonization that we're talking about, that I said I want to see harmonize, that harmonization could turn into intergovernmental conflict. There is legal and legislative disputes. I wish I had a legal expert to, you know, bring out that legal aspect of this particular taxation. But the controversy here is that there's allegations of inconsistencies between draft bills, past versions, and gazetted laws. Now, we remember recently that they said there's the fake tax reform that is circulating around that is different from what the the National House of Assembly actually passed into law, and what is being branded or brandished in the economic space or in the space right now is different. So these are some of the controversies. Can these tax reforms be sustainable? The short answer is yes, it can, but only through coordination. Yes, and it can be only conditionally. Why? It can be sustainable is because there could be strong structural design, there will be simplification, like we've been talking since, broader tax base, there'll be digital administration. This is all what the government is saying, the tax authorities are saying. There'll be fairer burden sharing, and these are global best practices. The focus will be on compliance, not just on rates. All right, like I said, time will always fail us to meet up. But like I always say, this is not, you know, a one fix issue. This is not going to be a one-off topic. We'll still continue to talk about the tax reform, as it were, in subsequent episodes. Just to let you know that we would be now rounding up things here. But on a final note, let us hope that the government and the national and the Nigerian Inland Revenue, you know, would do their part of affecting a transparent and fairer tax regime, and of course sensitize Nigerians for the need of this reform, because there is a huge job to be done to achieving the set goals. All right, and this is the wrap up on today's episode on Money and Market. You can join us for another episode on Money and Market on TVM. You can watch TVM on the go by the TVM app, accessible on Android Play Store and of course on Apple Store. You can follow us on our social media handles, and you can reach us via the numbers on your screen on partnering with us. I am Fred O'Neill. Once again, thanks for watching.
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network. This
Is the grass greener, or they are just invisible? Are the chains different, or we just don't see them? Who lives freer in our today's world? Welcome to another episode of Your Perspective with me, your homegirl, Mara Samuels. I am so excited to be here today, and I hope that you are amazing viewers. You're excited to watch as well. Your Perspective is live, and you can always watch us on any of our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. You can like, follow, share, and subscribe, and drop your comments. We would like to know where you're watching us from, and we would like to know what your perspective is on the matters we will be discussing today. Today, we'll be talking racism, basically, yes. We'll be talking the black man in the white man's land. And I have an amazing personality with me today, Mr. Lawrence Aguele. Hello, Mr. Lawrence.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm good.
All right, so let's delve in, Mr. Lawrence. This topic seems quite intriguing because we're talking the black man in a white man's land. So for you, what is racism? Before we go into the dictionary definition of racism.
Well, racism is an issue that is as old as the existence of man himself. It's not new. As long as there have been people, there have been racism. If not, how would you explain the biblical times where somebody just wakes up, go into another man's country and plunder and kill everybody, then the remaining ones takes them as slaves? It's because you view that race inferior to yours. That is the only reason why you can do something like that. So if we want to go by that, racism to me is the act of feeling superior.
Okay.
The act of superiority or inferiority by race.
Okay.
Depends on the race. Some race feel some races are inferior to them.
Yeah.
While some race feel some races are superior to them.
Okay.
So racism is just the differentiating people by race.
By different
and yes, and race could be defined by color of your skin, your language,
your culture, your
culture, even your hair.
Yes,
even your hair, yes.
Your physical attribute.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, all right. Let's see the dictionary definition of racism. Racism is the belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior and superior to one another. Mr. Lawrence just explained it. And well, like we all know, apart from this, worldly definition, we know that racism actually is between the black and the white. That's why we have the black man and the white man.
Okay, for as our case study, yeah.
Yes.
We will have the yellow racism. Yeah.
Yes, and then we have the red racism and all of that.
Yeah. So mostly the whites are always the ones that fail.
Yes, they always dominate more and
always
feel like they are
them. Which is not true.
All right, so Mr. Lawrence, when the white men came to Africa to take the black man, when the white men came to Africa to take the black men with them, would you call that slavery? Would you call that what would you call that?
That's kidnapping.
So are you saying kidnapping started?
Because there was nobody. There are only a few people they took on their own violation.
Okay.
Most of the people that they took, they're stolen from people and sold to them.
Stolen?
Yeah, so we call it kidnapping. When you take, like the people you see on your screen now, even if it's probably generated image, but what they are trying to depict, none of those black people you see there are there on their own free will.
Yes, obviously.
So when we get, maybe we see video clips of modern day bandits in Nigeria or terrorists in Nigeria holding people for ransom. How do they look like? Is it not something like this?
Yeah, right.
So it's kidnapping. Banditry.
So banditry started a very, very long time from now.
The difference between the banditry is this one is a sophisticated setup.
With the chains
they came white men with their ships and their boats, came in a sophisticated way. That's just different. But at the end of the day, it's basically all the same thing that played out.
Interesting. So do you think the white men came to Africa or came to colonize us to help us? Would you call it help, or they came to...
No. There is no colonialism in this world that was as a result of, those people are suffering. Our life is so good. Let's go and
help them.
That only happened in Christianity, and even in pushing the message of Christianity too. They also still pushed it in a way that this religion is even superior to your own.
Yeah.
This is the one you should follow.
Yes.
The white men coming to, I will use Africa as a case study because we're Africans. It was purely business. And if you read the history, you will feel, you would have this mixture of emotions. Surprise, laughter. You find it funny, and I say that you'll be angry because these guys sat on the table. There was a time they sat on a table, I think it was in Portugal, that meeting was held, if I remember correctly. They sat on the table and they shared Africa.
They literally shared Africa.
They shared France.
They did kill and divide. You take this side. You take this
Britain,
side.
take this.
Oh my
Portugal,
goodness.
take this. They shared Africa. And they came purely for, that's why Nigeria was actually called the Royal Niger Company before. Nigeria is a company. It's a British company. This Nigeria you are saying, so
yes.
It was a British company called the Royal Niger Company, owned by the British. It's just solely for business. So they came and what they did was, for their own benefit, to make it easy for them to manage, they joined the different tribes that were in this country together. Nigeria on its own as a country used to be a makeup of different self-governing people that the white men put together and put under one governorship so it would be easy to manage. Why they exploit? It's not as if they even eventually did business. Because if you say doing business, it means we gained, you gained. They exploited it.
Oh, so you're saying they did not come to help. They came to exploit Africans, the resources we had and all of that. Yeah. But there was a trade by barter. You give me this, I give you this. Would you not call that help in,
no, there was,
in some context?
There was Okay, what they did, I'm going to use I'm using an analogy which I do not condone as a person, but it's basically similar.
Yeah. Your perspective.
Yeah, to my perspective, basically similar. What's the modern day Yahoo Boys do to white people?
Yeah.
Where they give them what is not for something that is.
Yeah.
So you see, you come with a tobacco pipe. No tobacco pipe.
Yeah.
That tobacco pipe. You give it to a community head.
Yeah.
And just take the whole of his land.
No.
That
was some exploitation right there.
Exactly. In your mind, you have fulfilled all righteousness.
They're doing some trade by barter.
Yeah. After all, that was his price. We want to make the argument that was his price. But the man did not know the value of what you were giving him, and neither did he even know the value of what he was giving you.
Yeah, of what he had at that time. Yeah.
Now, why it's sad is when they eventually started knowing the value, you still refuse to either pay the commensurate value for it or return it.
So instead, they decided to take Africans.
Yeah, they took it. They took it by force.
So they took the Africans by force. They did not take me. They did take you. Your perspective is a very, very conversational segment where we would love to hear from you. We'd love to read your comments. We'll enjoy reading your comments on all our social media pages. We'd love to see and hear what you think. What is your perspective on the black man in a white man's land? All right, we'll go on a very short break now. We will be right there.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
Welcome back, and I hope that you have been staying tuned and you have been watching with us, because we're talking black man in a white man's land. We would like to, take some memory lane. We want to go down memory lane, I beg your pardon, and hear just discuss what it was like. The white man coming to the black man's land, and was it slavery? Would you call that slavery? What is racism to you? We'd love to hear from you, because your perspective, we enjoy getting comments and opinions. We want to hear your perspective in the comment sections on all our social media pages displayed across your screen. You can also send us a message on the WhatsApp number displayed on your screen, or send us an SMS on the number displayed on your screen. I still have with me in the studio Mr. Lawrence, my guest, and we're still talking racism, black man in a white man's land. So, Mr. Lawrence, for you, what would you say the black man in the diaspora and the black man in Africa, or their hometown, or in their homeland, who do you think is enjoying life more?
It depends on what you want to call enjoyment.
And who do you think is living life more, quote and unquote? Because we know that the black men in diaspora, they have some ups and downs. Do you think?
Yeah, I think there are ups and downs exist everywhere.
Okay.
I think what is the difference is it depends on what your ups
and downs
are, right? For people living in this part of the world, particularly our country, unfortunately, what to eat is not our only problem.
Yeah.
We still have issues with security. We still have, like, you can't sleep at night. And okay, these days you can barely sleep at night, but you can't go from point A to point B without
looking over your shoulders
and looking over your shoulder. And so the security problem is something which, even if there is a certain level of insecurity everywhere, well, not everywhere, because I know for a fact some countries almost have less than 2% crime rates. Like, so,
yeah, true.
I know some, especially in Europe, especially in Europe. I got to give it to those countries. They've been able to manage themselves very well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to security, I think those of us at home, we kind of go through more than those abroad. Then another thing too that I think is the ease of the value of money that is made. I don't want to use the word ease of making money.
Yeah.
If I say ease of making money, I might not be telling the full truth.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
the ease of value of
the
money.
value of the money. Once you are outside the shores of this, especially Nigeria, and you are in some European or American or even
Asian
UK,
countries,
and even Asian country, and you are able to land a job. The job doesn't even necessarily have to be all that. Just even a basic menial job, like a cleaner, for instance.
Yeah.
A cleaner in some European countries probably might earn higher than a lecturer in Nigeria.
Sure.
Yeah, so the value of the money is different. But that also does not take away the tax and everything that comes. But I still think even after all the tax,
all the taxes and their bills,
the value
payment,
is
value still higher.
The value for money is still more.
Yeah.
The value for money is more. Because in Nigeria, you actually can earn 600,000-700,000 naira a month and still struggle.
Yes. Fact.
And meanwhile, we don't even have a lot of people that earn that much.
True. We have people that earn way less, and they still struggle to make ends meet and all of that. And also, I know that blacks in diaspora, they have more economic opportunities, but they face racism.
Yeah, that is the major challenge is racism. That type of racism, though, I do not really have issues with that type of racism. Probably we call that type of racism borderline nepotism.
Okay.
In the sense that most people want their people first before you start looking at people from other nations. So that one, we call that nepotism. The only problem is when you don't have any of the people qualified, and you do not have issues with like what a lot of Americans go through. You are not qualified for this role, but a black man handling the role pains you. Well, you can't.
If it was you, it would pain you too now.
No, if you are pained, then learn how to do it.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You don't have to cry. If you know how to do it, I am pretty sure when you go to organization and tell whoever wants to that thing I employ that African to do, I can do it. They probably
see your strength and
they'll probably take you because you are their person. So.
All right. So, do you think blacks in the diaspora would want to come back to Africa, knowing that they were oppressed? No, putting that oppressed or the slavery term in front.
Do you know why I said no? I'm not saying it from feeling that if it were me, I would not go. I'm saying it from what you have. Every black man in the world most likely came from Africa.
Sure.
The other day I learned this musician, Cisco, was 35% Nigerian. So meaning either his grandfather or his grandmother,
great grandfather
was a Nigerian, right? Nas, the rapper, his biological father.
He's from Nigeria.
Bears a Yoruba name. So
see that?
You have a lot of these people who know their origin, but they are not coming.
They wouldn't want to come because they still view Africans as people that originated from apes. That thing is still there.
For those for the blacks there, particularly those that are 1-2 generations away. I don't think they view Africans as they actually, if you listen to them talk a lot of time, they hold us in high esteem. They love us. They like,
yes.
they are
The recent,
I'll use a lot of celebrity. A lot of them come, especially those who have their origins from Nigeria and Ghana. They come there a lot. At a point, this musician Chris Brown, we jokingly refer to him as Afrobeat artist.
Yes.
They like it, but the problem is they can't live here not because the people here will not welcome them, but because the condition they are used to, where they are, is way different
from what we have here.
Right? A black millionaire in America, if he relocates to Nigeria, will most likely be a billionaire in Nigeria when he does all his conversion and everything. But don't forget that as he comes, we start thinking of kidnapping,
the insecurity,
armed robbery,
power failures and all of that.
Buying diesel for your generator,
the road structure and the infrastructure
going
structure.
to mechanics like that.
Oh my goodness.
So it is not.
Even though if you actually look at it, living here is more cheaper than living there.
Yes, it is more cheaper.
Yeah, because when they are there, they pay their taxes and their bills and all of that. But when they are here, you pay less taxes. You just have to do the littlest things to be okay here. Unlike when you're there.
I have one of my brother who usually tells me that it's even cheaper to come to Nigeria than just be staying in a hotel.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't bother about power, you don't bother about air conditioning.
True.
Like if you even can afford to pay for the hotels that will be giving you in the hills, that it's actually cheaper for him. But the problem is the other things that come with it, because you have to go out, you have to go and do business.
Mobility.
You have to go and do business. And the economic opportunities are not the same. Or like a medical doctor in the United States or in the United Kingdom. It's not the same as a medical doctor in Nigeria.
Sure.
They are not on the same financial level at all. Even if mentally, we might even argue that ones are even more superior mentally. Because if you still go to these countries, it's still the ones that most from here you find there as their superior people there.
I actually came across a post on the internet some months ago of a woman that she said she's lived at a hotel for like 2-3 years plus.
Okay.
She basically lives there. She just pays her yearly hotel fee and food and all of that. And she prefers staying there. She was getting so many backlash from people. The comment section was on fire and all of that. But hearing all that you've explained now, it makes a lot of sense that
it is essentially if you can afford it.
Interesting. All right, so we'd love to hear from you. What is your perspective on racism, and what is your perspective on living abroad? If you were to live abroad and you discover that living in Nigeria is actually, or living in Africa is actually more less expensive, based on you won't be paying so much taxes or bills and all of that. What will it be for you? Would love to hear your comments. Would love to see your comments. Would love to read your comments. Would love to entertain your comments on this show, and would love to take your calls. Yes, call us, send us a message. We had a call from one of our amazing viewers. Sometime we give him a shout out, Mr. Ayodeji, all the way from Rivers State, Nigeria. Hi, Mr. Ayodeji, we're giving you a shout out again. So please, guys, send us a message. Let us know and hear what you think. Your perspective. We'll be right back. Let's take this short break.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
or come back. So, Mr. Lawrence, let me ask you this on a personal level now. If you were to be living abroad, right, and having known all of this that we've explained now, and for some reason or the other, would you want to relocate to Nigeria to actually start living in Nigeria based off of what you've explained?
Now, I am ambitious.
Yeah.
Very ambitious. I'm not one who is willing to settle for it's all good and well, at least feel it's good. I have
you aim higher.
I have dreams and aspirations.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that my aspirations I might not be able to achieve it outside this country.
Okay.
Because even if we want to argue that, talk about ease of doing business and all, the difference is why it is probably easy to get finances in Europe or in the US and the UK. I think it's easier to start a business in Nigeria because there are not much governance over setting up. Just register it in Corporate Affairs Commission, get your tax identification number, pay your tax, you are good. Then maybe some other, like for instance, this is a TV house, maybe the broadcasting body and NBC, pay NBC their license.
Your license fee.
You are good. In some other countries,
you go through a lot.
What you go through.
The steps you go through is even more discouraging than the ambition you have.
That's the reason why many of our medical doctors abroad do not own hospitals. Probably could afford it, but they can't open it. They would rather come to Nigeria and open a hospital than maybe go abroad. So maybe what I could consider is I could shuttle to countries.
Okay. So you could own your business here and shuttle if you had your opportunities.
Have an employment there or have some other freelance things I do that gives me money, then own a business. Yeah. But most times, people who have been able to push their business outside the shores of this country own the business here. I also know some media houses that also have broadcast houses in the UK.
Okay. And you're still based in Nigeria here.
Or some churches. Sorry, I'm using church. Some churches too.
No offense taken.
Yeah, branches.
Yeah.
In the UK also. Because they've been able to establish one in Nigeria. So they can now afford, they have the notoriety to be able to go through certain licenses and governance in the UK or other European countries. But if I know, for instance, Alhaji Dangote can actually go to the UK and say he wants to do business, and the government, the other Kingdom government would surround him and even be suggesting.
Yes, and you welcome him.
But I cannot do that. I can't try that. Who are you?
You just say normal African who's hustling to survive and all of that.
That is the thing. So for somebody at my level, it could be easy for the person to work abroad, save money, then come to Nigeria, maybe 1-2 years, establish business, then go back, put people here to manage it, before set it up in a way that it can be monitored and managed well, and go back and continue. Because I can assure you that business you set up in Nigeria, it's not the day you set it up, it's not the next day you start.
To pick up, true.
Yeah, so if you are pressed for cash, you probably need to go back to whatever your source of income is and continue your work.
Just continue your thing there till this one picks up.
Yeah,
true. So based off of what you have explained to me and our amazing viewers so far, you do not think that the actions of the whites coming to Africa or Nigeria, as the case was, you wouldn't call that, you would interpret that as slavery and exploitation?
Yeah, that's pure exploitation. There's no other term for it. So this one is pure exploitation.
But I might want to think, or some other people might want to think, it's not really exploitation because based on or because of the colonialization, right? Or because of the coming of the whites to Africa, to Nigeria, we're now exposed to civilization.
Now, how do we know that if they didn't come, we're still not exposed to civilization?
Even now that white people have come to colonize and give us civilization, there are still some parts of Africa and Nigeria that are still not civilized.
Okay, Do you know what the white did to Africa? The way we think is a product of that colonial era. The process, we believe that, just imagine where you existed at the time where you have one man in charge. That man's, whatever that man says is law.
Goes.
All the resources in the nation is decided by that man. Whatever happens to the resources in the nation is decided by that man. But meanwhile, these were people who, you have your own house, you have your wives, you have your children, you have your farm. It belongs to you. You are responsible for everything there.
Yeah.
Whatever you make is yours. Whatever you find in your land
Is yours.
is yours. Whoever you are, then you probably can have a community leader or a clan leader who once in a while will call a meeting and they discuss the thing in the community, how to develop the community, and everybody would have to agree or accept. It was when we started having religious incursions. Islam came to Nigeria, so you now have, because Islam too, as a religion, it also preaches one person leads everybody. But that's
Everybody follow.
yeah. Christianity too now came. Those were tools that the colonialism used to come. Christianity too came. You now had one person lead, others follow. Before, you probably might have a chief priest or whoever, a priest of the god.
Traditional.
Or at some point, if I remember my history correct, everybody had their gods in their house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the idea of I have to follow
So
your
you're
god
saying,
was not there.
so you're saying before the whites came,
Everybody was
we
independent.
were all independent,
And we are
we
thinking
were doing our
independently.
thing. Not in a collective way, but we're just thinking their own
No,
way. And
they were collective activities.
Okay.
But those activities are activities that should be done collectively.
okay.
The colonialism brought about the mentality of whoever is the president has the lives of the whole Nigeria or the whole nation in his hand. That is what colonialism brought. It made people now dependent on governance and government. In the real sense of things, that should have made things better. But we forgot one thing that was ignored when all these government and governors were coming up, was that we were human beings. Now, in other countries where it worked, the people themselves were already sophisticated.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, United Kingdom do not use presidents. Why? Because United Kingdom, they have the House of Lords, the House of Commons, then they have their Prime Minister. Before it got to that point, they had dukes and lords who were
Duchesses.
and the head dukes, duchesses, lords who were lords of their own small manors that probably at the end submit to whoever the king was.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, you have a little bit more autonomy in control. The only bad thing with that system was it was hereditary. So if a family is a terrible family,
It just keeps going like that.
Everybody in that clan is in trouble. But at the end of it, you do not have a situation where everybody is not dying for power.
Okay, so you don't think the reasons for the whites coming to Africa, you don't think they're genuine?
No, they are genuine to them.
To them, but to you?
I do not believe right wrong. It was right to them. They wanted money, they saw opportunity, and they took it. So it is what it is. It's just unfortunate they have to climb people to things.
So do you think there would have been a better way for them to have done it instead of climbing people?
Now, with the way the world is now, a better way to have done it, I do not know. The question is, should they have thought of it at all? If let's look at it with the modern glass. If a Greenlander wants to do business in America, the Greenlander will need to get an American visa or whatever the case may be. Will travel to America, fulfill all the obligations that is required, and set up his business, right?
True.
America now wants Greenland, probably as part of shoring up their border to prevent Russia from being too close to their country. So they want to use Greenland as the kind of a stopgap for them. They're offering $7 billion US. How would you be offering to buy a country? How do you think the people in that country would feel? Just imagine we are here in Nigeria, then one neighboring country. I can't think of one because our neighboring country are bigger than them. But let's assume there was one bigger than us. Just woke up one day and you're hearing everywhere that the country wants to buy us.
Ew.
Is that not slavery?
Slavery, oppression, greed.
So if you were in the United Kingdom or in France and you had your designs on maybe the resource in one of these African countries, all you had to do was just do the right thing. Who owns this thing? But in my own thinking, you do not even have the rights to even go there because it does not belong to you.
But I think they are coming. The civilization and the colonialism brought in civilization. Do you agree to that?
No.
You don't agree to that?
No.
Why?
Colonialism didn't bring about civilization.
In your perspective?
The first civilized nation on earth, if you want to go with the modern definition of civilization, was Egypt. And nobody colonized them. They by themselves figured things out for themselves. They had University of Alexandria is one of the oldest universities in the world.
So why did Africa not do all of that for themselves? I think the whites saw that Africans were not ready or were not going to do that for themselves.
I don't think the problem was not Africans willing to do that for themselves.
What was the problem?
I think the problem was they want to do it. They would have done it for themselves when they were ready to do it for themselves.
Africans?
Yeah.
Do you think Africans would have been ready?
They would now. No, they would. We are not. We are innovative. We are creative.
Yes.
We'll learn. And that is the reason why we could learn bad character easily and became who we are in terms of governance and everything.
Yeah.
Because we can learn things very well.
Yeah.
Egypt existing in the continent of Africa would have been a point for us or the rest of African countries to learn from. There was even another country too that was never colonized, but they are okay. What's the name of this country? Ethiopia.
Okay.
Ethiopia. Have you seen pictures and videos of Ethiopia?
Yes, I have.
Well-run country, well-organized, but
by themselves.
By themselves.
Yeah, I don't think Africa would have thought of that and even organized things.
I think they would have done it, but it's just that they would have done it in their own time, because at the end of the day, things become necessary. Oh, this is 2026 now. If Africans were not civilized before now, what will stop them from being civilized now? We would have gained some level of civilization. And do you know what? It would have even been better, because this would have been things we learned for ourselves. We collectively learned. We collectively decided to, oh, there is crude oil in this place. Or what do we do with the crude oil? We collectively decide that. But instead, we now have some foreigners sitting and deciding how to use our resource.
Okay, so now let's come to Nigeria as our country in our modern day, Nigeria now. Do you think that the colonization still has an effect on Nigerians? Because we still have the outside body, the superior body, Americans and the Europeans still having a say in how our government rules. So do you think that the colonization still affects Nigeria?
I believe that everything we do as Nigerians is as a result of colonialism. The way we think, the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we behave, even our belief, even our faith has the fingerprint of colonialism. Our governance has the fingerprint That is why Africa demonstrates its struggles, because we don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They just told us this is the type of government that is good for everybody. And we say, yeah, let's start it. We do not know how to do it. What was working for us before was we abandoned it. So everything we do, colonialism is in it.
Colonialism is in it, and colonialism still affects it.
Let me even shock you. Our neighboring Francophone countries. See, last year or 2 years ago, a lot of them were still being run by France.
Yeah.
They sent their revenue to French. The French now decided how to share it. That is a country in 2024, 2025, until some of them were not taken over like military and they started cutting it. And the rest of the world is kicking. Why are you kicking? Is it your money? No. Is it from your country? No. Is it your country? No. So why are you paid?
All right. So what do you think, guys? What is your take? What's your perspective? Do you think that colonialism still affects Nigeria as a country? Wherever you are in Nigeria, would want to hear from you. Would love to read your comments because I'm scrolling through. I want to know what you guys think. I would want to read a comment or two from our amazing viewers watching us all over the world. So yeah, based on the question I asked you, Mr. Lawrence, the reason why I asked that question is because of the intervention of the American government in Nigeria's insecurity level. So that's why I asked. Do you think, because we were colonized by the whites, do you think that's why they still have a say as the universal country of the world, kind of, universal power of the world, kind of? Do you think that's why they have that power to kind of intervene in matters affecting countries?
Their ability to do that comes from an innate nature of man, which is to give credence to people who they believe deserve credence. Like, for instance, a small community has majorly poor people. And amongst them, they have a sprinkle of very wealthy men.
Yeah.
Those men are not just wealthy, they now become influential. Because those men can say, oh, we don't have water in this community. I will single-handedly sink a ball. So they now become influential. And essentially, when that community now wants to pick who their king is, they still defer to these men. The men can influence who doesn't rule and influence which goes there. Because by virtue of their ability to amass wealth and use the wealth for themselves and for people, though some people use wealth for people to gain influence, puts them at that position. America as a nation has spent time investing on their influence. Even if President Donald Trump came and canceled a lot of their foreign aids, the USAIDs and the rest of these ones, those are like vote buying. They're buying the influence of the rest of the world. So when they get themselves to that level, they now have an influential right to say and do certain things, and nobody will question them. If Nigeria wakes up tomorrow now and tell Niger Republic, and tell that the head of state doesn't hand over to civilian government, they are coming to bomb them, Niger Republic will laugh at us. Like the rest of the world will say,
what's going on with you guys?
America can see that and get away with it because they have spent time to see. The thing is, you see where I say colonialism is a deliberate thing. When they came to our part of the world, they taught us how to think and behave like small people.
Small people.
Yeah, small-minded people. Then they develop their places. They will come here and teach the Nigerian man how to collect money from the government and ignore the complaint of bribery. Did not start with Nigerian government.
No, it didn't.
In early days, you could have problem, and the community would designate one person to go and represent it, to speak to whoever is the governor general, or whoever is the, what do they call them, people who govern region, the regional governor, who are white people. That person can go there and speak what he wants to speak. And the regional governor will give him a sumptuous meal.
Sumptuous meal.
He will eat and forget why he's there. Then he go back to his people and tell them people should calm down. So they had, but meanwhile, in their own country, We don't tolerate things like that. So they brought the mentality of smallness to us. So while America was busy,
and then we also bought it.
We took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took it. Because individuals were being enriched by it. Right?
Yeah.
So while America was busy building their institutions, building their government institutions and the rest, we were busy building people, busy making multi-millionaires and billionaires and lords in our system. So as a nation, America has the wherewithal to incur in anybody's freedom. Whether by coming as the overlords of peace, even if we know that right now in their country, they have issues with police security, ICE agents going about shooting people, fighting with civilians. But the same American can come and tell other countries, I don't like the way your police are brutalizing our citizens. What happens in America? But because they have built themselves up to that point, nobody can question them. Nobody can quarrel with them. So they send missiles to Nigeria and they bomb Nigeria, and the only thing Nigeria government could say was, yes, we are aware, we work. And in my mind, I was like, even if we are not aware, they will still do it. What would happen?
Yeah, nothing.
So what would they have done?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
So,
absolutely nothing. All right, guys, would love to hear comments from you. Would love to hear and read what you think, because I have some direct messages popping in our different social media accounts. And on our WhatsApp number, we have this message from Mr. Tony, all the way from Ondo State. Mr. Tony says, on the good side, the colonization of Nigeria by the British brought formal education, roads, railways, and a central government, which made communication and administration easier. True. I'd love to agree with that. And then he also said, but on the bad side, Nigerians lost control of their lands and decision. You think Nigerians lost control of their
we lost control. But I also still feel that these things came at the time they came.
Yeah.
Because of the colonial masters, right? So we still call them colonial masters.
Yeah.
Because of the colonial people, right? But I still do believe that eventually it would have come. Eventually, we would have learned all those things.
We would have learned those things.
Maybe not the time we learned it.
Yes. Maybe decades and years, centuries.
Maybe we would have built our first railway in 1999.
But we would have built.
No, we would have built.
There would have been the construction, anyways. All right, and Miss Sarah says, Miss Sarah, you didn't tell us where you're texting us from, but she says, taxes were forced and borders were drawn without care, creating problems we still face today, such as ethnic and regional tensions caused by forced borders, weak national unity, and frequent political instability. Our economy still depends heavily on raw materials, not industries. We also struggle with governance. Yeah, we also struggle with governance issues, inequality, and systems that were built to serve outsiders, not the people.
Exactly.
Nigerians are watching, Nigerians are watching, Nigerians are seeing and, observing all of these things.
What that commenter said was, it's very apt.
Yes.
Now, the institution, the structure of the government in Nigeria was built to serve some certain people. Not Nigeria.
No.
When it started, it was built to serve the British. And that's why you can have a country that tells you we are broke, right? But you now have the House of Assembly with many members. We have the House of Assembly. You have the House of Assembly. You have the Senate House. Basically doing the same thing.
Yes, basically doing the same thing.
Basically doing the same thing. And they are being paid heavily. So, because our government system was not made for Nigerians.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on a very quick breather. We'll be right back.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
Welcome back, guys. So we were talking about the black man in a white man's land, and we narrowed it down to our modern day Nigeria, how we run our daily activities in Nigeria, and how the colonization must have affected our day-to-day runnings and the way we think. And I still have with me in the studio Mr. Lawrence, my amazing guest, who has put in and thrown in more light in the topic of today. Mr. Lawrence, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
joining me.
I actually enjoyed the conversation.
Yes, I enjoyed it too. So guys, like I always say, we're open for comments. Please drop your comments on all our social media pages. Like we had a few seconds ago, we had interesting comments on our WhatsApp numbers displayed on your screen, and you can always send us your comments, send us your perspective, because this program is titled Your Perspective for a reason. We would want to know what you think, we want to know your perspective. Here, we just give our perspective. We're not saying it's solely what it is. We're just saying what we feel because it's our perspective. All right. So we're just going to round up real quick now. Mr. Lawrence, one last word from you for our amazing viewers.
Okay. Well, colonialism is in the past. It has come, it has gone, it happened. We have to deal with it. But I think one of the ways we can deal with it is by accepting and acknowledging the impact it has on us. I think from then we can now figure out how to move on without allowing it affect us. Because we need to move on.
Yeah.
We really
need to go past that.
Yeah, we need to go past that.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for staying through with us to this point. We say thank you and do have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network. This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Welcome to St. Augustine's College, Ogara, Delta State, Nigeria.
8 years of academic excellence doesn't just come as a good Nollywood film. It has been a step-by-step rise in academic achievements with back-to-back outstanding performances in both our junior and senior secondary school certificate examinations. Even so, we strive for constant growth, hence our motto which says, "The soul grows by learning." Education is the art and science of learning, and an academic success is achieved by training the mind to reach above its potential. We here at St. Augustine's College also help in training the body through a variety of sporting activities. We have a standard and fully functional volleyball court, football field, badminton court, and a few others which are promoted for co-ed practice. As we all know, intelligence and smarts have often been argued as to which is most important. Well, whichever side you are on, know that you have the full support of St. Augustine's College, Ogara, Delta State, as we provide indoor games which require tactical thinking, such as chess, a mathematical approach to checkers, an educational game like Scrabble, and few others such as snakes and ladders and cards, which helps to ease the stress of workload over the weekend.
And that is not all.
Here, students are taught spiritual, moral, and academic values. While we strive for academic excellence, we do not neglect the spiritual life of our students. In the chapel, the Catholic Mass, prayers, and other spiritual agenda carried out. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and in our refectory, which is always clean, students are served nutritious meals at every point in time. Our school medic is available 24/7, and we have a very comfortable sick bay. In addition to this, we have a variety of laboratories, such as the Home Economics Laboratory, where students are taught various crafts, such as photography, sewing, and cooking, which help them in the outside world. In the Computer Laboratory, students are taught to be technologically smart. In the Science Laboratory, students carry out physics, chemistry, and biology practicals under the supervision of qualified teachers who break down ambiguous concepts into simpler concepts. The school library is equipped with books which are carefully selected to help each child in their academic journey. Our school is also a center for WAEC, NECO, and GCE examinations, and we have zero tolerance for examination malpractice.
St. Augustine's College, Ogara, is the place to be. Why don't you join this big, great family of ours, where every child is guaranteed to thrive? For more information on the college, you could dial these numbers: 091-699-73723, 091-699-73728, and 091-699-73729. St. Augustine's College, Ogara. The soul grows by learning.
Hello, do you want to win amazing prizes? Just text TVM to +234 703 727 2983 and follow us on our social media platform and send a screenshot to our WhatsApp number +234 9028 518367 and stand a chance to grab airtime and data. Don't miss out. Text now.
Welcome to Dursag Engineering and Services Limited. A trusted name in the oil and gas industry, proudly registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission since the year 2000. We hold several specialized permits with the Department of Petroleum Resources, are accredited with service and product codes by NIPEX, certified by Dun & Bradstreet, and proudly ISO 9001:2015 certified. Our head office is strategically located at 43 Airport Road, Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. At Dursag, our areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, both local and highly trained expatriate personnel, engineering services across civil, electrical, instrumentation, and mechanical works, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speed boats. We are proud partners to some of the industry's leading players, including NNPC and its subsidiaries, Seplat Petroleum, First Hydrocarbon Nigeria Limited, ND Western, Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited, and Lee Engineering and Construction, among others. Over the years, we have successfully executed manpower, EPC, and marine support projects with a strong record of excellence. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.